It is a wonderful day. It is evening at my own end and a perfect time for the African Business Month. How are we all doing? Today we'll be having a very interesting program. I have already met some of the speakers and exhibitors, and I have to tell you it's going to be an interesting one. Also with me co-hosting this event is Deborah Abena, and this is to tell you that we want to ensure that you have an amazing, amazing time with us today. Do not forget that you can still register to join the African Business Month. We still have a week left. So register today and showcase what you do, all that you do as an organization, as a company, or just the services that you offer for thousands of Africans to have access to. That is the reason African Business Month exists in the first place. So you are all welcome. Straight into the business of the day, I'll be introducing myself first. My name is Bidemi Adedre. I am currently in Nigeria. Co-hosting with me is Deborah. Okay. Deborah, say hi to everyone.
Hi everyone. It's actually morning where I am. It's so funny how that works. But I'm so proud to
Yes.
be here, so happy to meet Bidemi. I really want to get to know her, so this is going to be an interesting relationship. But just seeing what everyone's doing, I'm really impressed because we have to showcase our businesses, and not to take up too much time, but this is something that I'm very passionate about as well because if we don't like our own things, who's going to like and support our own things? So we have to keep going and we have to keep showcasing all these wonderful talents.
Thank you very much, Debbie. So you see, this is like an interlude or an intro into the kind of event we're about to have today. Now we'll be hearing from the founder of the Global Pan-Africanism Network and the brain behind African Business Month itself, Mr. Daniel.
Hello, greetings, Bidemi. Can you hear me? Thank you everyone of the African Businessman. This is a very important event of Africans around the world to promote their own businesses. And the reason why we established the African Businessman is to provide a platform for Africans to be and through that in Africa and also Africans in the diaspora, association of the Pan-African goal of economic empowerment of Africans, be they in Africa or in the Caribbean or in Europe. The people of African descent belong to the African nation, and the best way to unify is to come together and economically uplift each other uh, rather than only socializing. We need to be able to begin to use Pan-Africanism to solve our own problems and address the challenges that people of African descent have in 21st century. We have been facing economic marginalization. Natural resources have been taken away. But if we do not organize economically and ensure that we lay hand on natural resources, add value to them, then the foreigners will continue exploiting resources at our benefit. So we need to unify as a people and as a nation, and utilize this African businessman to inspire Pan African struggle, which is about the economic improvement for people of African descent, and which is about the economic liberation of Africa, which comes through utilizing the Africa trade that has come into effect. We need to trade more with each other and reduce this culture of foreign dependency, because most of the stuff that we not made in Africa, and this is making Africa very poor because we don't focus on our own stuff. And it's a wake-up call for Africans to begin loving their own products, begin buying what they produce, and for us to be able to consume what we produce, we need to change mindset that foreign goods are better than African goods, and develop a sense of African nationalism that puts African manufacturers first and puts African businesses first. By applying group economics, then we can create all the infrastructure that Africa needs to be a prosperous African nation, and for us to be able to respond to the challenges that Africa is facing in the 21st century. Thank you for looking forward to after me. I think back to the studio.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. Thank you so much. So right now we'll be going on a very quick break, after which we'll be hearing from an amazing organization, the Resplendence Language Arts. Please stay tuned.
Why? Let me tell you why. When I wake up every day to come to work, I wake up with joy and happiness, knowing that I'm going to the most beautiful place in the world. That's Splash of Africa. The reason why I go with joy there is because it's my own business, and because it's my own business, I take a lot of joy, not only in owning my own business and being responsible for myself and only answering to myself, but also I get to show people in Scandinavia the beauty about the culture of Africa and its products and services. Owning one's business is one of the best things you can do for yourself, because it makes you self-reliant, it makes you independent, and basically it makes you happier so that you're working for yourself. So I would advise all our African youth, young couples, if you can, try to do something for yourself. Try to build something that can make you proud and make your community, your family, and your friends proud. This is Edwina at Splash of Africa.
Welcome back, guys. Today, viewers will be learning how to speak how to say hi and bye in Swahili, Zulu, Lukuru, Sesotho, oh my God, and Twi. So today, please meet with the founder of Resplendence Language Arts. I will be adding that to the stream now. But before I do so, I'd like to say one or two things about our organization. The Resplendence Language Arts is an African language collaboration house founded to reduce and remove language barriers and create a sustainable emphasis on African language studies while understanding ancestral cultural knowledge. Okay, so that's amazing. I'm going to add Sheila right now to the stream. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good. Excited. Nice to have you here.
Good. I'm so excited.
So please tell us about, please tell us about your organization. Why did you decide to come up with something this huge? This is a big dream.
Yeah, this is really a super endeavor, right? But I think it's going to allow all of us access to language, culture, arts, and being, prideful in that, and also having the level of connectivity that many of us are missing. So it's a huge endeavor. It's an exciting endeavor because I'm learning Swahili. I know a little tree as well. So it's something that really came from a place of love, because at the end of the day, I think, as you said on one of the commercials, that we want to be able to help other people, right? We want to be able to teach people, and we want people to be able to grow as well, right? A lot of us are going to the continent and her islands. So what better way to celebrate who we are than in our language, in our arts, and in our culture?
I agree.
So
I completely agree.
So for today, you kind of explained exactly what we're doing. We're doing hi and bye in various languages. We're going to start with Veronica. She does Swahili. Then next up would be Hamisi. He's our Swahili teacher too, but he'll do Luguru. And then it's Dimple. She's going to do two, which is Zulu and Seseto. Make sure I got that right. And Sue is going to do Criollo. And then Rebecca is going to do Tree of Ghana. Now, Rebecca is going to do something really amazing for you guys, because she's also going to teach us etiquette in Ghana. Because as you know, as we're all going to different countries of Africa, there's different etiquette, there's different rules, right, that apply. So we want people, as they're repatriating, and just chilling on, the continent, to know what some of these cultural differences are and some of these norms that you should be ready for and accustomed to. So that's what we're going to do today for you guys. And we're so excited. What I can do also, if I can, I want to tell you guys how you can find us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you look up Resplendence.language arts, that's on Facebook and Instagram. And on YouTube, very, very simple, just Resplendence Language Arts. Finding us on YouTube. We have content every week, like 3 or 4 times a week, where all of our languages, we offer about 12 or 13 languages now. It's really exciting. Yeah, really exciting. So, and on the YouTube page, we do a word of the week, which is really exciting. We do a lot of free sample classes, which we're exploring today with Professor Rebecca. And we just do live sometimes, and we just want to chitty chat with our family and friends of Resplendence Language Arts. So I'm going to shut my mouth now, because I'm really excited about what we're teaching today.
No. Actually, I'm going to leave. Okay, this stream now, so you all can do your thing for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
So please.
Excellent. So Veronica, you're up with hi and bye. And then after that, it'll be Hamisi.
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. My name is Veronica. I teach Swahili at Resplendence Language Arts. Welcome to today's event. Hamjambo. Yes, that is saying like hello. Now, today I want to teach you how we say hello and bye in Swahili. Now, in Swahili, we do not have an exact word to mean hello. So, yes, we have our own way of doing it. So in Swahili, we use different forms of greetings to say hello. For example, the one I'm going to teach you today is to say hujambo, hujambo, hujambo. It's a hello word in Swahili. Hujambo, hujambo. That is when, of course, you are addressing one person. And the response to is sijambo. Hujambo. If you are addressing more than one, you will say hamjambo, hamjambo. And then, of course, the response is hatujambo, hatujambo. Not the difference, please. When you're saying hello in Swahili to one person, say hujambo, and the response is si jambo, si jambo. And when you're addressing more than one person, you will say hamjambo, hamjambo, when you're talking to many people, and then they will respond hatujambo. So let's try it together. Jambo, jambo. And then hamjambo, all of you. Hamjambo, hatujambo. Goodbye word. In Swahili, we have different ways of saying goodbye. But then today I'm teaching you the simple, common one, of course. It is kwaheri, 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 to mean goodbye. And of course, this is when you're talking to one person. Kwaheri. For example, if you want to tell me, goodbye, Veronica, you will say, kwaheri, Veronica, and I will respond, kwaheri, or I can go ahead and say, yakuonana, because I am expecting to see you.
Hello, I am Professor Hamisi and I am from Tanzania and I teach both Swahili and Luguru here at Resplendence.
Yes, Professor Hamisi.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Hamisi, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I am Professor Hamisi, as I said, and I am from Tanzania, and I teach both Swahili and Luguru here at the Resplendence Language Arts. Also, I am native of all these two languages. Yeah, but Professor Veronica has already said about the Swahili. For me today, I'm going to show you how we say hi and bye in Luguru. So the way we say hi in Luguru, we say Philly. So Philly is hi. And you respond, Anoga. So Anoga is good. So Philly is how things is hi. So Anoga is cool or good. So Philly, we say Anoga. And then I would like also to show you how we are saying bye in Luguru. Bye in Luguru, we say nauka. Nauka. So this is like I'm going or I am leaving. So you need to respond by saying haya. Haya. So thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in one of my future amazing, awesome, fun class. You are most welcome. Asante sana. Nauka.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Professor Hamisi. So my name is Professor Dimple, and I'm going to teach you how to say hi and goodbye in isiZulu and Sesotho. So these are two languages that are spoken in South Africa. So before we start, I want to teach you guys a very cool song that will help you remember. So it goes, Sanbanani Dumelang Moleni, hello. Sanbanani Dumelang Moleni, hello. Slower. Sanbanani Dumelang Molweni, hello. So Molweni is actually in isiXhosa. A lot of people love that language because it is in Black Panther. I added it just so the song flows. So Sanbonani is when you greet a lot of people. So you can say hi everyone in isiZulu. So it's Sanibonani. Sanbonani. Hi everyone. And then if you're greeting one person though, you say Sawubona. So Sawubona, which means hello. But that's if you're talking to one person, right? And then the person would respond and say Sawubona. And then if you say Sanbonani, the people would say Sawubona nawe, which means hi to you too, right? And then in Sesotho, you say Dumelang. So Dumelang plays the same role as Sanbonani. So Dumelang is if you're greeting everyone. So you're saying, hi everyone, Dumelang. So it's Dumelang. Hi everyone. So it's a lot of people, right? And then the response would be Dumela liwena. So that means hi to you too. So this is if the people are responding to you because obviously you're one person. And then if you're greeting one person, you'd say Dumela. So Dumela, which means hello. Just one person. Hello. Dumela. And then usually the response is Likai or Dumela Luena. So Likai is how are you? Right? So the person would respond with Likai. Sometimes they don't say Dumela, or they'd say Dumela Luena, which means hi to you too. Okay. So it's Sanbonani, Sawubona, Dumelang, Dumela. So Sawubona, Sanbonani, it's isiZulu. Dumelang, Dumela, that's Sesotho. And then in South Africa, let me just do Xhosa because it was in the song. So in isiXhosa, you say Molweni. So Molweni plays the same role as Sanbonani and Dumelang. Molweni, that's a lot of people. So hi everyone, Molweni. And then if it's one person, you say Molo. So it's Molo. Simple, right? Molweni, Molo. So Sanbanani Dumelang Molweni, hello. Sanbanani Dumelang Molweni, hello. So if you remember the song, it'll be easy for you to greet. And then in South Africa, we don't really have, in South African languages, we don't really have goodbye. So usually if the person is leaving, they would just say nisale kahle. So this is in isiZulu, which means you guys must stay well, or so I'm leaving now, so stay well. Nisale kahle. So everyone must stay well. If it's one person, it's osale kahle. So stay well. In Sesotho, it's lesale hantle, right? Which means stay well. Everyone must stay well. Or usale hantle, right? In isiXhosa, usually the person would say ndiyahamba, which means I'm leaving, or ushiyeke kakuhle, which means stay well, right? So yeah, that's it from me. I really hope to see you guys in my classes very soon. And yeah, bye. Over to Professor Sue. Looks like Professor Sue is still out. So I think Professor Rebecca will be coming up next. So
yes, Rebecca is next. So I just want to make sure she is ready, and then we're going to go into her class. But before we bring on Rebecca, I do want to mention a couple things. It's almost like a little break. We do offer group classes and tutoring. So group classes currently that we offer in is Introduction to Tree, Intermediate Tree, and Introduction to Swahili. Those are our current offerings in terms of group classes. Coming soon classes, again, group classes, is Introduction to Criollo and Introduction to Mauritian Creole. Now, what's available for absolute tutoring right now, and if you go to any of our social medias, you will see this information posted. We offer, let me get it from the top, Yoruba, Hausa. These are languages of Nigeria. So it's nice to see someone from Nigeria in the chat. And outside of Tree, we also offer Fanti, which is a language of Ghana, Ga, as well. So we have a couple different languages in Ghana. Then we have French. Some teachers from Cameroon there, and then a really, really, really specific indigenous language, which is Fon/Fongbi from Benin. Outside of that, we also offer Zulu, and you just saw Professor Dempo singing as well. And she also knows Sesesto. Make sure I get that right. Sesesto. Hopefully I got that right. We offer a lot. And then there's another local language that we offer in Kenya called Kikuyu. So, and we have a children's program that we're piloting as well. So really exciting things. I really do hope you guys can visit us, on Facebook. And on Facebook, it's Resplendence.languagearts. Instagram is Resplendence.languagearts. And on YouTube is simply just Resplendence Language Arts. So I think I've done enough talking now, and we're going to move it over to Rebecca, and she's going to do hi and bye, and then she's going to do a Ghana etiquette class. Asante.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca, and I'm going to teach you about the Tree language, which is spoken here in Africa, specifically West Africa. So I'm going to teach you how to say hello and bye in my language. Unfortunately, we don't have anything like hello or hi in my language. What we have is how to say something else, to compensate that missing link. So this is how we say it. Etiseng. Etiseng basically is how are you? How are you? And so how are you is, something that is used to substitute hello. Now the response is eye. Yes. And eye means I am fine. I am fine. So I'll take it again. Sen, which means how are you? And the response is yeah, which means I am fine. Now to say goodbye is simple. It is yebeshia. Now yebeshia means we shall meet again. We shall meet again. Okay. At this juncture, I'm going to share my slides with you on some aspects of our language, which looks at politeness and etiquette. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, you don't have to ask.
I see Rebecca.
Okay, great. Okay, so So politeness and etiquette are important aspects of communication, particularly cross-culturally or cross-linguistically. What do I mean by this? What I mean is that, as Shayla said in the beginning, every language is unique, and every language has a way of showing politeness and etiquette. So, for example, among the Spanish speakers, how do they show politeness? One way they show politeness is through the use of por favor, which means please. Among the French speakers too, one way of showing politeness is to say s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. In English, the language we are speaking now, one way of showing politeness is through using the word please, please. Okay, so undoubtedly, politeness is important cross-linguistically, even though how a particular language show politeness and etiquette might be different from that of another language. So whilst you're trying to come to Africa, or whilst you're in Africa, there are certain things you need to know about the language and how to show politeness. Now let's come to the tree speakers. How do tree speakers show politeness? These speakers have various ways of showing politeness, and one of these ways is through our magic word. Yes, I call it the magic word, and it is called me pa chow, me pa chow, me pa chow, me pa chow. Me pa chow means please, please. So to show politeness in Chi, you just say me pa chow, which means please. Now, another way of showing politeness, I think, among the tree speakers is something that is very important to them, and that is greetings. Greetings. We show politeness through greetings. Why do we show politeness through greetings? Unlike the Western world, where you choose to greet, here you are supposed to greet your neighbor. If you don't greet your neighbor, it has certain connotations. So one, it shows that if you greet your neighbor, it shows that you are at peace with the person, and it also shows that you want to start a conversation. So it is always necessary here in Ghana and here among the Akans, it's always necessary to start every conversation with greetings and exchanging pleasantries. Now let's come to the etiquette. What is etiquette? Etiquette is the customary code of polite behavior in society and among members of a particular group. Now, as I said earlier, every society has a way of showing etiquette and showing politeness. So right now, we're going to look at how the Akans, especially the tree speakers, show politeness and etiquette. Now, when it comes to greeting, as I said in my previous slide, greeting is very important among the tree speakers. Greeting in a festival or during a program is normally supposed to start from the right to the left with the right hand. Now, I'll talk about the use of the right hand shortly. So we greet with our right hand. We greet with our right hand. And it's very important because most foreigners don't know this, and so sometimes try to greet with their left hand. Here in among the Akans and in Ghana especially, we greet with our right hand. We use our right hand to receive, to give, and to eat. The use of the left hand, even though we all have left hands, we tend to use the right hand for all these actions because we know that the left hand is used for certain unpleasant things here in Africa or here among the Akan speakers. We use the left hand for unpleasant things and to pick things that are not important. So if you, for example, you are an ambassador to this country and you eat or you receive with your left hand, you'll be looked at as if you don't respect the people in this country or you don't respect the tree speakers. So it is important for you to know the etiquette of the land. So Never use your left hand to greet, to buy, to receive, or even to eat. Now, some do's and don'ts. Now, when eating, we do not talk while eating. It's among our culture that you don't talk while you are eating. And also, you have to know that you have to invite people around you whenever you are eating. And then you don't do it after you finish eating the food. No, you do it before eating. So, how do you invite somebody if you want the person to join in your meal? So you say, "What to me? What to me?" What to me means you have met me and I'm eating. So it means you are invited. You are invited. You do this not only to people you know, but even to strangers. Who knows? Maybe the person might be hungry and would like to eat with you. So, what to me is an invitation among the tree speakers to invite people to join them for their meal. Or you can also say, Mensa aka. Mensa aka. Mensa aka means my hand has touched. My hand has touched. What has your hand touched? Your hand has been able to grab some food. So you can invite your other colleague, your friends, strangers, people around you to join in as you eat. Now the response will be that mensa womu, mensa womu, meaning my hands are dipped in. So a person who would not want to eat, but then will want to just politely say that, "Oh, go ahead and eat." You just tell you that, "Oh, my hands are already in your food, so carry on, go ahead, eat." A person will say mensa womu or koso. Koso. Koso means go ahead. Go ahead. So next time, if you want to be a native of this land, next time invite others to eat with you. Now let's look at something else about our dressing. Now, traditionally, we believe that the way a person dresses talks a lot about the person's upbringing. So when you come to Ghana, you have to be very particular about the way you dress because it conveys a meaning. It conveys that you are from a humble home or from a proud home. Okay, so never wear a hat or a cap when greeting an elderly person. Here in Ghana and among the Akans, it is always necessary to remove your cap or your hat whenever you are greeting an elderly person. This is to show respect. Now, whenever you are in public, you never cross your leg when you are with the elderly or when talking with an elderly. You don't cross your leg. These are some of the things that are forbidden in our society. Now, this brings me to the end of this section. I hope to see you in one of my classes. Thank you, and be my future student. Bye.
So that was amazing, right? In every country you go to, there are going to be those cultural norms, and there's also going to be the etiquette that we all need to know. So what she just taught you is a sample, is a part of our classes that we teach. So we don't just teach language, right? I think we would be doing the community a disservice. We teach culture, right? We teach etiquette. We also introduce music oftentimes into our courses as well. Another thing too, our classes are extremely affordable at $15 a class. And it's over an hour and 30 minutes of lecture. Sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's twice a week. You're getting a lot. We have a dedicated WhatsApp group. We provide also flashcards to help you along the way. You learn things from basic alphabets all the way up to days of the week, time of the day. You learn everything, all right? And that's in our introduction classes, which is normally 8 modules, 8 to 10 modules. At the end, so your final class, and actually in the middle part of the class, we do an assessment. And at the end, we do a final assessment. It's not really pass or fail. We just want to make sure you learn a language, right? And then also in that final class, we introduce you. This is how we really integrate it all, right? We introduce you to local tourist guides. maybe local hotels owners or boutique owners or lodge owners that's in that country as well. So we're helping you really integrate into the country that you're interested in. So with that being said, we hope and we pray and we say please, which is tafadhali in Swahili. And we say thank you, which is madase in Shri. We thank you and we welcome you. And we would like you to come to the table with us here at Resplendence Language Arts. Again, it's a language house of all these beautiful African languages. Come to us. We'd love to have you and have a seat at our table. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Wow. Okay, so I don't know, but I feel like we can we should have gotten a video from you, so people can see some promotional video, but we can always get that later on, probably for next week, so we can play this video and people can watch.
Sure.
One or two things. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rebecca. That was amazing. That was a beautiful presentation. All right, then. So we'll be taking a short break now, after which we'll most likely meet with the second exhibitor or our very first speaker of the day. Please stay tuned.
Bye.
Hi all, welcome to Wednesday at Splash of Africa. I'm going to show you a brief video view of the food room. Here we go. This is the food room here. All kinds of canned foods, kalalau, palm butter again, corned beef, spam, African Fanta, as you can see, curry, all kinds of curry. Here we have all the meats. We have cow meat, we have cow feet, cow stomach, cow skin, all here. This is the cow section. Here we have breakfast stuff, Golden Morning, Born Vita, Peak Milk, Nido. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you this Liberian oil made in Liberia, one of the best first grade oil, palm oil. Quaker oats we have, as you can see, Kabato Jeune, white flour, different jams, ginger jam, guava jam, M&M's chocolate paste. All the various teas, as you can see here, ginger tea, slim tea, lemon and ginger teas, Fitney. Here we have more beans, red beans, kidney beans, Africa fufu. Have all kinds of various stuff, rice. Have all of this, seasonings, fioretto, tiare de molokai. Lots more, even okra from Africa. We have okra, we have fondue, bobolo. We have chili from Uganda. We have ginger from Africa as well. Everything here is from Africa. And here we have our dried fish. We have different sorts of dried fish. This is Capitan dry fish. We have mackerel, smoked mackerel. We have barberman dried fish. Barberman dried fish. We have pipe fish. We have matoke here. We have matoke. We have sweet potatoes there. We have yams there, Ghana yams. You can see we have yams here. The yams we have here, yeah, we have yams there. Yes, side here we have brewwurst from South Africa. This is a brewwurst, South African meat made from beef. We have South African. We have smoked turkey. We have turkey, fresh frozen turkey. We have fresh sausages, homemade, also made South African way. We have smoked turkey. We have smoked chicken. We have longanista, delicious pork, all organic. The pig, the animals were fed well. They were let out loose. They were fed corn and stuff, so they're not processed. We have, this is where we keep the vegetables, as you can, and fruits rather, the fresh ones. As you can see, it's almost finished. We have fish there. We have agusi, peppers. We even have plantain chips, as you can see. We have plantain chips there. So yeah, this is the whole food room here, as from a view, from a quick bird's view.
Okay, guys, so quick reminder. Next week, the 29th of November, is the grand finale of this phenomenal program. You still have a chance to subscribe to the African Business Month, showcase your businesses, your services to thousands of Africans right here on this platform. Simply log on to www.africanbusinessmonth.org and register. We look forward to having you next week. If you are still here, then you know that you're in for a beautiful ride, and we have an amazing speaker right here, Miriam Mutwiza. Hi, Miriam. Hello, can you hear
me?
Oh,
sorry, my mic was muted. How you doing? How's everybody?
I'm fine. Nice to have you again. I love the last time we met was the Right to Food conference, and oh my, that was amazing. I can't wait to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's just girl power.
I agree. Girl power. So let's hear from you. Let the world know who Miriam is.
Right. Thank you very much. I want to say Dumela. I want to say Esente. I want to say all the beautiful languages that I was taught just now about etiquette. So I'm going to be losing it because I'm using a language that is a learned language. It didn't come naturally in conversing. So you'll miss a lot of etiquettes from me. I'll just shoot. But thank you so much, the sisters that are doing the linguistics and stuff. It's amazing how some languages are similar, but we still have issues on our continent about hating on other African brothers and sisters that are looking for economic survival. You find in other countries, oh, we hate Nigerians, oh, we hate Zimbabweans, oh, we hate all Black people that come through the borders. We prefer the white people that fly in. So it's good to start cracking on language lessons. Once we break the language barrier, the things that we can do together is amazing.
I agree.
So today, well, I'll give a bit of background. My background is IT. I loved digital circuits design, networks, and a bit of programming. Not too passionate. I find programmers are just boring people, but we love you, we respect you because you keep technology going. But and so I got into project management, and I do a whole lot of other things because as a project manager, your game is to make any project successful. So that's what I'm into. But predominantly, I think I work predominantly for the most part in procurement of services and consultancy services through international public bodies. So yeah, here today talking about infrastructure development, why our continent is always lagging behind. And then when you go to the West, we are the ones doing the electricity. We're the core people, part of the core teams. I'm not saying we're running things, but our people, when we talk of brain drain of Africa, you've got engineers, you've got scientists, you've got developers, you've got chartered surveyors, chartered accountants, chartered civil engineers, and all these professionals are in the West working on the best rail networks, working on the best buildings. If you look at the John Hancock building in Boston, a Zimbabwean was part of the architect team. If you look at the rail networks, there's Nigerians, South Africans, Zimbabweans, Ghanaians, Kenyans, Tanzanians, all of us are there. You look at the some of the best road infrastructure in Texas. You have Africans or people of African origin. This is
Miriam,
one.
I'd like to say, do you not think that this is because we do not have an enabling environment for these minds to really change Africa?
I think we have an enabling environment. We don't have the passion and the willingness. If you look at Israel, it's a new state. It's an idea that was born of people that didn't even have a first degree connection with the land. It was just an idea. People, if we take our paychecks, we can make Israel come to life. So you look in 1950s, Israel is coming to life after the Second War. And what they've done today, they are in a desert. They've got infrastructure that drills down a kilometer to locate water. We only have to dig 40 meters. Meters, my sister. 40 meters to get water. And we are starving with no food. Israel has to dig a kilometer to secure water. And they're exporting food. So it's not about an enabling environment. How much more do you want to be enabled? With a pick, you can dig. It's not even every village in Africa has got someone who can dig a well.
Yes.
Did you know that, my sister? If you look at the whole sub-Sahara Africa, people who settled in the rural areas will never come to a village homestead that says we have no water. They dig 40 meters, and we are content with that mindset of saying, let me just dig enough to get water. And that mindset is what is the enabling environment that is needed. It's in the psyche. So we need to detoxicate our psyche and say all the things that we marvel at. We marvel at trains. We marvel at traffic lights. We marvel even at energy provision, and we'll be passing through the village. Hey, they've got indoor plumbing. We even marvel at that on our continent in this day and age. Yet we're producing scientists. And some of the scientists, we are happy to visit our grandmas in the village in a $100,000 car. And we leave them with that 40-meter well. And we are happy that we celebrate. They slaughter chickens and goats and make moi for us. We spend the whole morning doing that, and we can't
Miriam, I like to ask a question each time we have speakers here talk
Yeah.
about the need to wake up, so to
Right.
speak. So,
Right.
what is the one thing we can start with? Okay,
The one thing we can start with.
Mhm.
This is why I marvel at the language thing. We need to speak the same language. And obviously, the same language in this case is the whole concept idea. Because we've got people talking about development of Africa. We are talking about the Global Pan-African Initiative. We are talking about coming together with an idea of an Africa that's united. But are we actually living that? Do I feel comfortable buying services from an African? Or do I question my fellow African? If I'm going to build a road in my village or to connect my road in my village, who is it that comes to mind to do that road? Do I trust my brother or my sister to say the services that my village require will take that local village? Am I willing to skill up my village? Right now, if I tell you there are tenders floating for the development of Africa, but the tenders are floating in the West for the development of Africa. And when the tenders are opened, our African companies are missing. And it's public tenders. It's not restriction in terms of participation. So our conceptualization, our idea formulation has to speak the same language. I want a tarred road or a decent road to my village. How do I get that? How do I bridge the village to the development of the urban areas? When I talk of infrastructure development, I'm talking of roads, I'm talking of power provision, I'm talking of water. Why is it such a big problem? Yet, if you look at one of the greatest African achievements is the mobile cell phone. Do you know we didn't need donor funds for mobile cell phone? It was proper investment. It was a lot more Africans that did the initial investing in mobile. It doesn't matter which country, it was the African person at the lead. And so what I'm saying is communication is key. We managed to do that in the communication industry. And no external investor is going to come and do your roads because roads do not return in a short term. They're a long-term return for the people that enjoy and use them. So an investor will sell you a car, but they won't sell you a road because they will get return from a car. It's a consumable. After you drive a while, the tires are going to wear out and but the infrastructure that those roads, that those cars will run on is what is critical. So it's a communication, a concept, idea, absent of idea, we don't have infrastructure. Someone stood over a river and said, the idea is to connect there without going through a canoe. So let's do a bridge. And then all the calculus that makes a bridge possible was drawn up, and a bridge was possible. And we've got
Thank you,
bridges.
Miriam. I love the fact that you said, you mentioned, the village. How can I change my village? In fact, personally, I believe that community development is global development. If everyone in each community decides to do one thing, just one thing, to change something about their community, I believe that that's global development. Edwina, what do you think? I added you to this stream because you and Miriam, we've had this talk on Right to Food conference, food sovereignty in Africa. So I feel that we had this connection back then, and I feel like we can do this again. So, Edwina, what is your say in changing Africa one village at a time?
Well, do you remember from the last time I said 5 things? Change comes from within. That means, as an African, if I want to see my country change, if I want to see my country change, I have to go from within first. See how can I make myself better as an African, and that based on that, to see how I can make my surrounding around me better as Africans. So change comes from within, and once you have to look first within yourself and see how you can change things, and that will portray itself out within your immediate environment, and that will flow over to the people in your communities, the people in your country, and the people on your continent. So what my sister said, she's absolutely right as well. But at the end of the day, it comes from within. We cannot change external factors if we don't change first and look within ourselves to change what's inside.
I would say that for a lot of us, we're contented with the way things are. And once that is in play, it's difficult to let people know that there needs to be a change. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to explain.
It's like
Feed a
living by
village.
example. It's like living by example. You can't tell someone we have to, for example, we need to stop. We need to have a lot of schools. We need to do this. We need to stop corruption. We need to do that. It's best if people see you doing by example. If you live by example, people follow more easier. It's easier to talk the talk, but we need to walk the walk. So that's why
So
I'm
you are
saying,
saying we should start with leadership.
yeah, we should start walking the walk now. We've talked a lot as Africans. We
Yes,
should walk the walk.
I agree. We should work.
Yeah.
Miriam.
Yeah, it's I agree. It starts from within, and human beings naturally are aspirational creatures. You know, you don't see a lion saying, "Oh, I need to fence up this area and keep the zebras in so I can have meat." It doesn't have those aspirations. Its
Mhm.
aspirations are the next meal. So, as a human being, we aspire to do better than yesterday. That
Yeah.
is inherent in each individual.
Mhm.
So, the mob psychology is controlled by the events of the day. So you go to any rural area in Africa today, they're talking about Manchester United, about Liverpool, about Arsenal. Nobody is talking about how is the San Francisco Bridge standing and across such a water body. And so the conversations that we are having now are timely and they're pertinent. So if someone had not spoken to Miko Waitare about the possibility of making a phone call from Africa to America and speak real time, he probably wouldn't have been the first cell phone launcher in the whole wide world in 1986. So that idea and sharing the ideas, like my sister saying, we've spoken and we're going to speak. And if you read old books, this was being spoken about at the time of those records. Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates, they argued at length about the ideas that were being discussed. And yet today, we're having the same conversations. The human construct is constant. There is nothing new under the sun. I'm born and I go through the procedures of development. And then I realize that, oh, now I'm at that stage of fending for myself. I need this, I want that. This is a necessity. And the laws in around us are changing. So those ideas need to be conversed about as we are doing now. We extend the conversation and we talk about ideas that matter. So look at the idea of a cell phone. It wasn't a necessity, but look at how it's connected us. Each one of us is holding
Thank you,
this
Miriam.
idea.
Yes, Miriam. So it doesn't have to be a necessity for change to happen. But the thing with
Right.
Africa is it is a necessity. Edwina, you will be exhibiting the Splash of Africa today, but I want to connect a link here. I want to show the nexus between what you're doing and what Miriam is talking about. So you are in Norway, yet you've taken it upon yourself. You've taken that next step in ensuring that Africa is projected to the world. All you do is speak about Africa, sell Africa, do Africa. That's what you do. That's what Splash of Africa is about. And I
Exactly.
want to know, how has it been so far? The journey so far, has it been, what has happened when you started? How was it like, and how is it going now?
Well, first of all, it was strange because it was not something that I had planned on doing. I came from, I started it more like a hobby. I wouldn't call it a
You know,
joke, but a hobby
I'm not
because I
sure we
felt.
can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
It's very.
Can
No.
you hear me? No?
It's
Oh.
in and out.
Can you hear? Okay, let me put the fan off 1 second. Can you hear me now?
That's a lot
Yes,
better.
Better. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it
very
started
much
more like
better.
a hobby because it
Okay.
was not. I did not see. If you had asked me 5 years ago if I would have a place like Splash of Africa, I would say no because I was. It was not on my agenda. I was busy with renew energy in Africa, and prior to that, I was in the humanitarian sector for 10 years with agriculture projects and educational projects and uh, 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 gender as well. So I started collecting art every time I returned from Africa. I
Mm.
traveled so much, and I stayed so much in Africa, which I loved, but it's my children missed me and I missed them. And I got tired of going up and down in a plane. There was a time that my house was on the plane. So I said, I have to stop going up and down. I developed a fear of flying suddenly. So I decided, well, I have all these beautiful paintings that I bring for people as a gift, but then
Mm.
they all love it. Why don't I like showcase it? Because I have most of it in my house rolled up in corners and stuff. Then I was going to town one day and eating my ice cream. It was great weather, and I saw this building with big wide mirrors, windows, big ones where sun can go in, great lighting area possibility. And I stood in front of it, I looked at it, and I thought, this is going to be a store. And I
You
looked
didn't
for the
get
number.
that.
I called my husband, texted him immediately. I said, you need to contact these people. Tell them we want to rent the place. He goes, for what? I said, we're going to open up a business there. What business? I said, I'll tell you later. And that's how it started. So I slowly zoomed out of renewable energy and kept my shares in the company, but zoomed out of the responsibilities of that and focused on Splash of Africa. It was not easy in the beginning, no, because Africa in some places still have a bad rep. But
Yes.
due to uh, due to my being steadfast and getting to know the African community in my county very well, I have been able to also show others who are non-Africans how warm and kind and gentle we are, and how
Yes.
we have one of the most beautiful cultures in the world. And if you, I don't know if you notice this, but no matter how you make an African mad, we are still very kind, very open, and very welcoming. That's
Thank you. Thank you so much, Edwina. So, Miriam, you can see how she, it wasn't a necessity, and yet she took that step, and we can say that, okay, she's helping artists in African countries. She's helping them get the exposure they need, and also
Let, let
bringing
me
some of.
let me say before you go, let me say what I perceive. The idea is that Edwina had met with someone else's idea that they had produced a piece of art. So
Mm,
it's the constants of human existence. While I'm living, doing life, and another person is doing life, it's when our ideas come together. So it hasn't, it may sound effortless when it comes to reality, but it's do your purpose while you're doing. So it's not a help per se, but it's a connection of ideas so that you carry on living with whether I'm there or not. Your
thank
ideas
you.
will take you where you are. And so thank you so much, my sister, for that splash of Africa. It's just amazing concept of saying you carry on doing what you're doing, and while you're doing what you're doing, you might come across a building that will speak to you, and then those ideas or those things that you've collected then say, they speak to you.
Yes, I personally love the concept Splash of Africa, because what it means to me is wherever you are, you take a piece of Africa with you. That's what it means to me. So thank you, Miriam. Unfortunately, we have to come to the end of your session, after which Edwina will be exhibiting Splash of Africa. Obviously, we've all heard about it, but then she has to tell us about the business and how we can contact her if we want to patronize her. Thank you so much, Miriam.
Thank you so much, Bidemi, and good being on the show with you as usual, gracious host. And thank you, everybody. Lovely seeing you.
Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Keep safe.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So I will be playing a short video, not so short video. We need to, set something straight, and then we'll be back. And when we come back, you'll be meeting with Just Deborah and Edwina.
Hi all, welcome to Wednesday at Splash of Africa. I'm going to show you a brief video view of the food room. Here we go. This is the food room here. All kinds of canned foods, kalalau, palm butter again, corned beef, spam, African Fanta, as you can see, curry, all kinds of curry. Here we have all the meats. We have cow meat, we have cow feet, cow stomach, cow skin, all here. This is the cow section. Here we have breakfast stuff, Golden Morning, Born Vita, Peak Milk, Nido. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you this Liberian oil made in Liberia, one of the best first grade oil, palm oil. Quaker oats we have, as you can see, Kabato Jeune, white flour, different jams, ginger jam, guava jam, M&M's chocolate paste. All the various teas, as you can see here, ginger tea, slim tea, lemon and ginger teas, Fitney. Here we have more beans, red beans, kidney beans, Africa fufu. Have all kinds of various stuff, rice. Have all of this, seasonings, fioretto, tiare de molokai. Lots more, even okra from Africa. We have okra, we have fondue, bobolo. We have chili from Uganda. We have ginger from Africa as well. Everything here is from Africa. And here we have our dried fish. We have a different sort of dried fish. This is Capitan dried fish. We have mackerel, smoked mackerel. We have barberman dried fish. We have pipe fish. We have matoke here. We have matoke. We have sweet potatoes there. We have yams there, Ghana yams. You can see we have yams here. the yams we have here. Yeah, we have yams there. Yes, side here we have brewwurst from South Africa. This is a brewwurst, South African meat made from beef. We have South African. We have smoked turkey. We have turkey, fresh frozen turkey. We have fresh sausages, homemade, also made South African way. We have smoked turkey. We have smoked chicken.
Hi, Edwina. My name is Deborah, and I just had a couple of questions for you. I wanted to ask you this. What do you think starting your own business has taught you and has taught you to also bring forward to everybody? Like, what's the main message?
Well, I should give a very brief background. It's Splash of Africa is not my first business that I started. I've been working for myself since 2009. So all those years, and I started Splash of Africa in 2016. But all prior to Splash of Africa, starting my own business, being my own boss, has given me, well, one thing is made me realize that I can't work for anybody else. You get stubborn, but you get your independence. You have the decisions that you make. It's not always right, and it's not always wrong. So you learn as you go. So you learn from your mistake. You grow emotionally, mentally as well. You work harder than usual. You do more of yourself in the business. When you're working for someone, you finish working those hours, you're gone. But when you're working for yourself, you find yourself working weekends, way until the night. I mean, it's like you don't have it's time consuming. It takes a lot, but it's all rewarding. Best of all, you are your own boss. You get to make your own decisions, but it also humbles you as well, because no matter what business you do, as long as you're interacting with customers, you need to set aside your personal feelings and be professional.
I have another question for you.
Yeah.
That in Africa, doing your own business is not really, it's kind of looked down upon, like you go to Africa, people graduate and they just want to go to school and get a job like everybody else. But why do you think it's been a little bit harder to convey that message to the continent?
Well, from what I don't know about all of Africa, but most of the African places I've been to, our problem as Africans on the continent is that everybody wants to work in government. Yeah. And everybody wants a PhD and don't get me wrong. But we can all be presidents and ministers, and we can all have PhDs. We need different various sectors of people with skills and experience. We need carpenters, we need masons, we need entrepreneurs, we need mechanics, so there's always a role for everybody to play. And when I started having my own business, I started in Africa, even though I was living in Europe. So my first business that I opened up was in Africa. And I remember it was not easy, but once when you're hard-headed and you're strong mentally, it's hard for. I mean, if you know what you know, I'm on a train. This train is going there. If you come on, you either help to pull the train along. If you're not going to help to pull the train along, we're going to get you off the train. It's that simple. And I always told people, I said, for everyone, there's always a replacement. There's always 10 people in line waiting to get your position. Even me, I'm not irreplaceable. There's always someone, if I screw up with my business, someone else will go and do the same business. So nobody can everyone can be replaced. So it's how you take yourself, how serious you take your job, your business. That's the outcome you will get. So, and doing business in Africa is not easy. You have to deal with corruption. You have to deal with to get someone to even sign a simple document.
Yes.
You have to deal with paying them, which I never did. I was one thing I insisted on. There came a point I had to go with my own receipt book. You want me to bribe you? Well, sign this receipt. If you sign the receipt, I need an account for that money. If you sign it, I'll give it to you. Most of the time, I didn't want to do it. But then you have the male, especially being a woman, you have the male trying to think that, it's a woman. And then, of course, you have to put them in a place. I don't have nothing against men, but African men sometimes can be nice. Sometimes,
yeah.
a bit difficult to handle when it comes to having a lady boss. But all I can say is that being an entrepreneur in Africa, whether you're a man or a woman, it's not easy. So if you know within yourself that what you want to do is what you want to do, and you know within yourself that it's doable, do it. Stay strong, stay the course. Don't give up, because you will have challenges. If you think you'll not have challenges, then you're stupid. And the first 2 to 3 years, don't expect to make any profits. Don't expect that. Okay, don't expect that. As long as you see yourself going a trend, then you're getting there. So it's not an easy road, but it's better than working for someone 9 to 5 and taking the crap. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Pardon my French.
Absolutely. It's like even in that book, the Claude Anderson Powernomics, that book has been around for I think 25 years now. If only we applied even a little bit of what that book said, I think globally we would be in a much better space, and we would be more respected as a people, right? Because if you look at other communities, I don't want to say any names, but you know that community that has the hat on their head?
Yeah.
Why does everybody respect them? People don't really like them, but they respect them because of their money, because of how tight they are, you know?
Yes.
Because they don't go to regular schools. They said, I don't like that school. I want to go to this school. So that whole pride that we have, I think we need to let it down and be more humble against each other.
Yep. And we need to respect each other as well. And we need to draw closer together.
Yeah.
As a global community, we need to draw closer together. Like, for example, I don't know if you know this, but Africa, even personally, I try to keep all my finances within the Black community. So I only buy from African suppliers or African Americans or African British or wherever. So if you don't have my color, you're not getting my money. Except my landlord, he has a different color. I can help that. But don't get me wrong, though, I take the money from the other people too.
Yeah, of course. You sell to everybody, but you try to buy from your own.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Thank you so much, Edwina. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, so African, here we go. This is Splash of Africa. Please do well to check them out on their social media pages, and also do not just check them out, patronize them. They have a lot of things I think you'll be interested in.
Share it. Let's share the love. Because Splash of Africa is not only for me, it's for us. I have except for a few, so I'm looking for them. Like I need some things from South Africa. I have the meats now. I need some other things. I need something from Uganda. I need some things from down south. I want to get to represent that. So let's spread the love. Let's spread Africa's beauty. Let's spread that. Let's spread faster than any virus. Let's spread the love.
All right then, thank you so much. All right, so Deborah, what do you think of Splash of Africa? I think we still have an exhibitor yet to come online, but before then we'll take a few comments, but I want to hear from you.
Well, I think it's a good initiative because, as you mentioned before, she's showcasing other talents that probably otherwise people wouldn't see. And if we look at where she lives, it's not like she lives in a place like US where, you have a lot of culture. She lives in the Netherlands, which, from what I can say, I've been to Europe before. There's some certain areas that are very it's only one certain culture that's over there that dominates. So she's showing this to a whole group of people who probably would not even have access to anything African. So I think that's so commendable, and more people should be able to do that, because if we show each other our cultures, there will probably be less fights less assumptions, and more getting to know each other, like more questions.
Yeah.
So I
Let's
really
share some love, light, and color.
like for sure. No trouble.
Especially the color. All right. Okay. So, guys, we'll be coming back shortly, and I will be sharing one or two videos before we move on. Hi. Welcome to Bird Ninja, the lesson hub of the century. This right here is my safe space. I'm hoping to share as well, and that's why it exists. I learn, I teach, and I grow. Here are a few things you should expect in this relationship of ours. A glimpse into the African people and culture, telling relevant stories, covering contemporary issues in Africa, interesting African facts and myth, strange but true events, persons of interest, my spicy, juicy, salty opinions on global matters you should know. Some progress report on the activities of the Smile Outreach, just in case advocacy turns you on, and plenty delicious extras.
Welcome to Kenya Pro. We look forward to sharing with you how you can use the Kenya Pro platform to engage students around the globe with captivating learning opportunities, making your subject matter come alive on any brand of smartphone, tablet, laptop, or desktop computer which your students have access to. Why Kenya?
Hi. Welcome to Bird Ninja, the lesson hub of the century. This right here is my safe space. I'm hoping to share as well, and that's why it exists. I learn, I teach, and I grow. Here are a few things you should expect in this relationship of ours. A glimpse into the African people and culture, telling relevant stories, covering contemporary issues in Africa, interesting African facts and myth, strange but true events, persons of interest, my spicy, juicy, salty opinions on global matters you should know. Some progress report on the activities of the Smile Outreach, just in case advocacy turns you on, and plenty delicious extras.
Welcome to Kenya Pro. We look forward to sharing with you how you can use the Kenya Pro platform to engage students around the globe with captivating learning opportunities, making your subject matter come alive on any brand of smartphone, tablet, laptop, or desktop computer which your students have access to. Why Kenya Pro? Kenya Pro is a refined cloud-based software that provides a centralized source to support learning. No need for servers, no installation required, and no waiting on peripherals to arrive in the mail. Kenya Pro connects you to the world. You're able to leverage high-quality, easy-to-use, scalable, and cost-effective educational services while offering an interactive and integrated learning process. You can create your own courses to empower your audience to learn at their convenience, whatever their geographic location. You can also utilize Kenya Pro's wide repertoire of curated courses for professional development or personal growth. Now, let's look at some of Kenya Pro's highlighted features. Interactive live training sessions. We want learning to be interactive and captivating. Knowing that everyone learns differently, we ensure that we have a variety of tools to facilitate different types of learners and interactions. For example, our options for teacher-student communication include breakout rooms, chats, annotations, whiteboarding, and surveys, to name a few. Let's face it, no one wants to be in a session that's not engaging. Course design and management. You can upload recorded sessions and use them as course content. We have a streamlined process to facilitate course development using accessed web content, presentations, PowerPoint, PDF, video, audio, and keyed in plain and rich text content. In other words, we provide a wide range of content formats to support course development. We also provide the ability for instructors to create learning paths. consisting of multiple courses, which can be managed by establishing prerequisite requirements. Communication management. Our secure communication tools make it easy for you to communicate with learners. You can create and make notifications, use our integrated calendar, manage mass messaging, create and manage discussion forums, as well as make, collect, analyze, and distribute test results. One of the most insightful features is the reporting tool. It gives simplified statistical insight into a course and the learner's interactions. Personalizing your account. Kania Pro is a customizable LMS platform that gives you the power to personalize your account. If you have a website, we can map the website to your Kania Pro account. We can add your logo, color scheme, and your selected theme from our collection. Why blend in when you can stand out? Additionally, Kania Pro lets you gamify your e-learning experience to keep users engaged and motivated throughout their learning journey. To do that, the Kania Pro LMS offers some of the most popular and battle-tested gamification techniques: points, badges, levels, and leaderboards. Selecting the Kania Pro platform means having access to features that will enrich both instructor and learner experiences. The ability to connect and empower your audience globally through interactive virtual sessions, a wide repertoire of curated courses for personal and professional development which you can use for your own organization or offer to clients, the ability to drastically reduce or eliminate course facilitation-related travel expenses.
Okay, guys. All right, welcome back to the African Business Month. A quick reminder, you all, next week is the grand finale, the 29th of November 2020. You still have the opportunity to register your business and stand the chance to share what you do to thousands of Africans around the world. Do not sleep on this offer. Log on to www.africanbusinessmonth.org and get started. Today we'll be hearing from an amazing woman. Wow, this is a girl power day by Shalima Edwards. Okay, I'll be adding her to stream now. Yes, Shalima, please say hi to everyone. Hi, Shalima. Shalima, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. You're welcome to the African Business Month. Really? Deborah, can you hear me?
Shalima, do you mind saying something again? Okay, no, we can't hear Shalima, but we could hear you.
Okay, Shalima, please log out and try logging in again. Let's see if that will solve the problem. In the meantime, I will be taking comments from some of the people that have been watching us live. Thank you guys so much. So from the very first, we have someone watching live from Nigeria, Amanda. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, Mamosta says Dumela, right? How do we respond to Dumela? Deborah.
I forgot.
Okay, we need to sign up to the Resplendence language app. Okay, we have someone watching from Uganda, and yeah. And so Amanda says this is enlightening. So I'm reading this from my system. This is exciting. The cultural etiquette of the Twi is almost same as the Tivs of Nigeria. Well, this is the thing about African culture. We are so different. There's so much diversity, and yet there is so much similarity. So much from what we eat to our languages to our culture, our relationship with people. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is some similarity with what you heard today.
African cultures, there's a lot of respect for elders, period. So I think that's
very important. If you don't want them to show you something, you need to respect your elders here, at least we in Nigeria. Okay. Looking at a comment from Paul. He says Africans must now walk the walk. I think he's trying to say must now walk the talk. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to sound. Okay, and we totally agree with you. We are here for all that. We need to start doing things. We don't need to, it doesn't have to be everywhere. Not everyone in the world needs to know what you're doing to change your community. Just do it. Do it, and someone else will do it. Someone will join you. That's how organizations are built, by the way. It starts from an idea, it starts from an action.
I think Africans especially, we like to see people do something and then we'll copy it if it's good. So everybody who wants to change something, you have to be the example, especially if you go to the village. If you want to change a villager's mind, you have to show them what you're talking about. You can't just go in and tell them.
And then they try to replicate, what you're doing. Yes, we're still waiting for Shalima. I think she's having a bit of some connectivity issue. Okay, any other comments here? Practical live lessons here. Thank you so much for following. I'm Black American. How can I join? How can I unite with you? Of course. Just log it. See, www.africanbusiness. In fact, let me type it in so we all can see it. africanbusinessmonth.org. Just go online and register. Okay. And you can also check us out on our social media pages. I'm sure if you send us a message, someone will reply you almost instantly. Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel. Today seemed to be an interesting one. Okay. So I told you something, Debbie, that I was going to talk about what I do. I think I can. I think this is an opportunity. The universe is telling me, yes, show the world what to do. Okay, so guys, my name is Bijemi Adetiri. I am a communications and idea strategist. However, I am all about community and capacity development. So you must have been hearing me talk about community development more than once and twice. So that's because I'm all for that. I believe strongly that community development equals global development. So if I want to change anything, if I want to do it, in fact, even if I work in an organization, my first point of action is usually a community thing. Okay, so, and that is why the Smile outreach was birthed. It started out very small. All I wanted to do was share material relief, some health awareness program to widows of the Nigerian army, men who died during the insurgency. And it turned out to be massive. In fact, we were able to reach out to kids, public primary schools, yes, in Calabar, and we provided them with essential school needs, bags, books, and stuff like that. And after that, I realized that, okay, this can continue. It doesn't have to be every day because you need to plan towards it, but we can do this, once a while. Pick a community and do something. And so that's how the Smile outreach was better, because what we want to do is put a smile on people's faces. Our core areas actually is, number one, gender balance. We believe if you're reaching out to the girls, you should reach out to the boys, because if they do not know why you're empowering the girls, then it will make very little sense. So we believe in gender balance. We also fight against cross-generational sexual relationship. I think Shalima is back. Shalima? Maybe it's from my end. Deborah, can you see her?
I'm not able to see her at the moment.
Okay, so as I was saying, we are strongly against cross-generational sexual relationship, and okay. All right, I think this is a StreamYard issue. we we want to teach young people how to avoid predators. Okay, I think that's the word.
Yeah.
We've realized that there are a lot of people that manipulate their victims into sexual assault. So that is what we want to do. We want to stop that. In fact, we have a project, we have a program that'll be coming up in 2021. We intend to reach out to at least 6,000 girls and boys in 9 months, talking about cross-generational sexual relationship, teaching them, what it means to the dangers in having sexual relations with people older than them, like 8 times that. We understand that the problem of child marriage is still there. Excuse me. But we believe we can take this one step at a time. This I just talked about one of the things, a few of the things that we do, and if anyone is interested in what we do and like to volunteer, we're purely volunteer based. We just pick a community, carry out our sensitization. If we have the ability, we carry out some material relief, yes, but mainly to educate the people about the dangers of sexual relationship with older partners. Debbie, was that interesting?
Can you
Deborah.
repeat? Can you repeat again how people can get involved again, like how they can contact?
You would like to get involved?
Yeah,
That is not a problem. Okay, that is not a problem. If you want to get involved, sure. But you can find us on Twitter as The Smile Outreach, on LinkedIn, The Smile Outreach, on Facebook. Simply type in The Smile Outreach and you find us. Send us a message and we'll happily respond to you. Or you can send us an email on thesmileoutreach@gmail.com. Yes, so you can do that as well.
Okay.
But Deborah, in your own case, don't worry. Oh, Shalima says her camera is not working. Okay, so, but I can't. All right, we'll be having the next exhibitor here.
Do her audio.
That's the thing with StreamYard. You can add someone to stream if the audio or camera is not on, and that is what I'm facing here. But we have an exhibitor here and ready. Ruth James. Hello.
Hi, good morning. Well, it's morning where I am.
It's morning. Wow, it's evening here.
Right,
It's 6:46 p.m. here.
I'm in
Nice
Southern
to meet you.
California. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's just a bit before 10 here.
Oh, all right, all right. So tell us what you do, what you're exhibiting today, and how we can reach out to you.
Yeah, so my name is Ruth James, and I'm an IT management consultant, and I have a consulting firm out here in Southern California, s1techconsulting.com, and I work with organizations, assisting them in how to make the most out of their IT dollars. So my background is in software engineering and business management. So I combine those two to do the management consulting from a technology perspective. And what we do here with that aspect of the business, I'm overall an entrepreneur, and with that aspect of the business, I'm usually working with private industries or often public government agencies. Most of my work in the past 10 years has been with government organizations to help them make sure that they're getting the most out of their IT dollars. So what we're talking about is, things like process re-engineering. How are you doing? How are you doing your procedures that you're actually running your business by? And those are standard business procedures that we all have to do in organizations. Bringing in the people, the HR, dealing with the accounting, the purchasing, the sourcing, working with how you actually manage your technology, storing your data, and things like that. So that's the management consulting part of it. And I don't know if we have, brothers and sisters that have organizations that scale to the point where they need that type of service. We are definitely able to provide that. We have the BUC group, who I don't know if they presented today, but they presented before, and they actively work on developing different pieces of the platform that we're using here on GPAN, and that we are will eventually roll out the technology platform. So the team at BUC, they have technology that they actually put in place to meet some of the needs that I'm talking about. And what I do is I do the consulting work. I go around to different clients and help them understand that they need such solutions, and help to prepare the organization so that they will be ready for when the solution comes in. They understand the business strategies, they understand the business goals, they have their data and their technology perspective lined up. They know what they want to do, meaning we have their requirements and their specifications, and then an organization such as BUC can come in and actually do an implementation. The other part of what I'm doing that maybe hits closer to home for other people is that I've combined my love of teaching and learning with my love of technology. And in this case, I have launched a cloud-based learning management platform that is very, very useful in allowing individuals to be able to roll out very professional courses, academies of learning institutions, distance learning instances on an environment that you can be assured of the safety and the security of your content, that you can be assured as an entrepreneur yourself that there will be no problem in, getting the compensation for the use of your platform, that your platform will be professionally administered. And I'm going to take some time to sort of give you some information and some demos about that piece so you can see that for yourself. And also so you can see what we are already doing and have done for GPAN. We have the GPAN education platform ready to go. We're just waiting to launch the courses as soon as the executive team would let us know which courses we need to put on there. Okay, so I'll get started. I will share my screen with you. And I'm not sure if this presentation has already played, but I will share it with you. Let me see what's happening here. You have disappeared. Where have you gone to? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to say, so which screen do I want to share? Let me see which one okay, there we go. We're going to share this one. And I'm going to share the audio. Alrighty. And in a minute, you'll stop seeing us and start seeing the presentation. Okay, here we go. Welcome to Kania Pro. We look forward to sharing with you how you can use the Kania Pro platform to engage students around the globe with captivating learning opportunities, making your subject matter come alive on any brand of smartphone, tablet, laptop, or desktop computer which your students have access to.
Why Kania Pro? Kania Pro is a refined cloud-based software that provides a centralized source to support learning. No need for servers, no installation required, and no waiting on peripherals to arrive in the mail. Kania Pro connects you to the world. You're able to leverage high-quality, easy-to-use, scalable, and cost-effective educational services while offering an interactive and integrated learning process. You can create your own courses to empower your audience to learn at their convenience, whatever their geographic location. You can also utilize Kania Pro's wide repertoire of curated courses for professional development or personal growth. Now, let's look at some of Kania Pro's highlighted features. Interactive live training sessions. We want learning to be interactive and captivating. Knowing that everyone learns differently, we ensure that we have a variety of tools to facilitate different types of learners and interactions. For example, our options for teacher-student communication include breakout rooms, chats, annotations, whiteboarding, and surveys, to name a few. Let's face it, no one wants to be in a session that's not engaging. Course design and management. You can upload recorded sessions and use them as course content. We have a streamlined process to facilitate course development using accessed web content, presentations, PowerPoint, PDF, video, audio, and keyed in plain and rich text content. In other words, we provide a wide range of content formats to support course development. We also provide the ability for instructors to create learning paths consisting of multiple courses, which can be managed by establishing prerequisite requirements. Communication management. Our secure communication tools make it easy for you to communicate with learners. You can create and make notifications, use our integrated calendar, manage mass messaging, create and manage discussion forums, as well as make, collect, analyze, and distribute test results. One of the most insightful features is the reporting tool. It gives simplified statistical insight into a course and the learner's interactions. Personalizing your account. Kania Pro is a customizable LMS platform that gives you the power to personalize your account. If you have a website, we can map the website to your Kania Pro account. We can add your logo, color scheme, and your selected theme from our collection. Why blend in when you can stand out? Additionally, Kania Pro lets you gamify your e-learning experience to keep users engaged and motivated throughout their learning journey. To do that, the Kania Pro LMS offers some of the most popular and battle-tested gamification techniques: points, badges, levels, and leaderboards. Selecting the Kania Pro platform means having access to features that will enrich both instructor and learner experiences. The ability to connect and empower your audience globally through interactive virtual sessions, a wide repertoire of curated courses for personal and professional development, which you can use for your own organization or offer to clients, the ability to drastically reduce or eliminate course facilitation-related travel expenses while extending your client base, device-agnostic course accessibility anytime, anywhere, the ability to extend LMS content with developed content, the ability to customize and issue certificates upon completion of courses or seminars, a professional platform with integrated calendar management to schedule and manage live instructor-led classroom sessions or individual consultations, an easy-to-use platform that does not require technical skills to engage clients. All right, I let that show here so you can see how to get in touch with the email address, and also how you can check it out for yourself.
Perfect. Okay. I was just about to ask you how to contact you, but that's perfect.
And all right, I still have a little bit more to make sure that we get this. I want to help people to understand that, you know, there's a lot of different ways that people reach out to share content.
We have, there are other platforms that people use, and to think about why would you engage this type of platform. There's a really important concept that we have to digest and utilize to move forward in leaps and bounds as a people, and that is called leverage. So when you share information once, when you present a class once, let's say you have an interactive session with a group of people and it was an amazing session. And yes, you can save that as a video. That is true. But having the ability to develop courseware that is interactive and people can access that on a platform where in a teaching setting, you can have questions, you can have, tests, you can decide that you're going to do part of your course as a in-person session, and that you're going to do part of your course as course content that's prepared like this, like the example of the presentation that we just showed is an example of one such course preparation. When you have the ability to present courses, then you can think to yourself some different things. You can think to yourself, do I want to work with some people and actually establish a learning institution? Do I want to create something a bit more formal? And here we give you the ability to do that with absolutely no difficulties. In terms of the transforming regular content into content that's ready for visualizing online in dynamic ways, that's why we're here. We support you with that. You don't have to come up with all the different ways that you're going to present that material yourself. That you just have to have your raw course content. You're the expert in your field. Once you can communicate your expertise, we can help you to showcase that in a very dynamic way. So going back to more formal education, all of us who have done formal education know that things are done in steps. You will have prerequisites, certain courses that you must complete before others. The system takes care of all of that for you. People aren't allowed to register for courses that they're not ready to take. There's a ton of things that are taken care of for you. And then you have the ability to create these, the online classroom environment where you can, just like we use for now, we are engaged with Zoom. If we are able to get with some other interactive platforms, such as the one we're creating for ourselves here in GPAN, we will work to engage in that way too. But there's ways that you can break your classroom and your students up into different study groups. No one's interfering with anyone else until you bring the group back together and so forth. I also want to show you another use. I want to show you what we've done a little bit for GPAN. And there's another application of this. We have some people who have work that they would like to display, but they would like to display it on a secure platform where people can't download their photographs and people can't download their videos because those are actual licensed pieces of art. And we are able to keep those secure on this platform. And you can have entire art galleries or displays of, how many films, just like people get on Netflix and watch films. You can use the platform to secure films that you want to provide to the public to see, probably at some cost. So let me show you a little bit of one of these demonstrations using, are you still seeing the feedback of my screen?
Yes.
Okay, that's good then. Okay, so I will do that. So here's one gallery style. And this one will show a combination of images and videos that are displayed in a secure way. Okay, and hang on 1 second. And with this small demonstration, I will show you that regardless of what device a person has, that when you use our platform, your content is shown properly regardless of what device they have. So this is an example of content that is shown on a desktop.
Like masks and focus instead of creative works, to which students have not been exposed. Shimbumba Kanda Matutu's popular paintings of Belgian colonialism and the decolonization.
Let's take the same content to a tablet.
They are beautifully.
So if you have a tablet instead of a desktop, this is how you'd see it.
Minimize traditional ethnic art, like masks and focus instead of creative works, to which
if you tilt the tablet in the other direction, this is how you see it.
It may be useful to minimize traditional ethnic art, like masks and focus instead of creative.
What if you have a smartphone?
It may be useful to minimize traditional ethnic art.
And if you tilt the smartphone, it's very tiny, but it is still there.
Have not been exposed. It may be useful to minimize traditional ethnic art.
Okay, so you have a secure platform where you are able to provide access for individuals. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta find you guys again. Okay, here you are. Okay, and you have access for individuals regardless of what device they have. Regardless of what time they choose to access your content, you are able to continue to put forth your mission of providing education and content anytime, anywhere, regardless of what device a person has, and you are guaranteed that that is going to show properly and professionally on their device, and your content is actually secure. I want to share with you that we are using this very platform to complete a very important mission, which is tied to GPAN, but not, it's supported by a lot of GPAN members and others, and we are closely connected with GPAN, but it is an independent effort to really speak our piece as a people and make sure that we have a place where we can provide African developed African history, African developed points of view on economics, and an African focused and promoted view on African art. So all of the content that will be developed for that platform, or is being developed for that platform, is being developed by our people, for our people, with a Pan-African mission in mind. So we have a group of historians right now that are working together on the history content. And once we get the history content organized properly for this platform and can put this out, we are going to focus immediately after that on the economic education content. And mixed in with the history, we are reaching out to the art community, so the artists among us and filmmakers and such. We are putting that along with the history because that's a very important part of having the course content be authentic. So when the historians, when the courses are brought alive and you're actually showing things, I want to make sure that the individuals who are going to benefit from having supplied content, artistic content, music, etc., are our own people. So that will be a platform that literally, as we teach about ourselves, we want to make sure that the story that's being told is being told from our perspective. We're going to tell our story ourselves, and we're going to showcase our art, and we're going to showcase it in the context and the, how should I say it, the context and the sensitivity and the respect for our own people telling our own story. So this very platform is being used for that purpose. But I want to make sure that it's clearly understood that you can leverage it for your own business or your own activities, on its own. But we are also incorporating it for a bigger purpose for that meets our Pan-African vision here. And with that, I will stop and I will allow people to interact and ask questions. I will stop sharing my screen and I will go back to normal interaction here. Yeah. And so I'm open for any questions or anything that feedback.
Okay, so we will leave the floor for about, let's say, 3 minutes for any questions. If you guys have any questions, we will read it in the comments. Question for you, though. Again, can you quickly say how to contact you again?
Yeah, the email is rjames at S1, that's the number 1, TECH consulting.com. And the platform is edu.kaniapro.com, KANIAPRO.com. So you can take a look at it. And actually the GPAN platform, you just put GPAN in front of the edu, and then you would get to the GPAN course platform.
I also did have a personal question as well.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired you to? Because I know it's different for everybody, but what inspired you to actually get involved and start with this?
Well, like I said, my background is in tech, but I come from a family of educators. There are many, many educators in my family, many. And even when I started in tech, within the first year when I left university and I started working, I started teaching technical courses because it's just a natural, it's a natural tendency. I enjoy teaching. So I've always been interested in that. And over the years, I have always done technical training. So now, why would I leverage a platform? Because it's what we need in our community, what we're trying to do in our communities. We're trying to emancipate ourselves from both social and economic perspectives. So I cannot leave out the economic part. We are, we know we have a lot of work to do socially. And a key component of any advancement of any people is knowing, knowledge and understanding, comprehension, and being able to have focus and being able to strive for specific outcomes. And so we have it's very clear that we have some knowledge gaps that need to be filled. and that the more knowledge we can disseminate, the closer we will come to meeting our goals. The way the platform works and the way I chose to leverage it, I done it in such a way that individuals who are entrepreneurs can benefit. A thing that's really important for any group of people to prosper is they must circulate the monies within their community many times over. And the monies need to stay within their community in order for that group of people to be prospering. And so the way the platform is set up and managed, and the way I encourage people to use it, is in an entrepreneurial fashion. And think about, I am, learning. We have a lot of platforms where people learn. And often the way they do it is like one course at a time. Go and buy this course. That's a very difficult proposition for the instructors. And it's a very difficult proposition for the students because there's a gazillion courses to choose from, a gazillion platforms. And an instructor can really struggle, trying to get people to take their one course. I'm not a proponent of that. I believe you need to provide a full functional library of content to people, and that you need to utilize subscription models. And when you create a platform where, if that's the beauty of, community and working together. If we work together and create a very meaningful platform where all of the instructors who contribute to that platform are entrepreneurs, and that's just how it works. And then when our people come to access such a platform, there's such a rich scope and depth of content that it's worth it to subscribe to it because it's there. So what all we need to do is to kind of pull it together. And then for the individuals who have businesses, like small business people, usually it's really huge companies that have learning for their students, for their employees. I'm sorry, that have learning management systems for their employees. Smaller companies, 10 people or less, the way monies work, it's very difficult for them to think about having a repertoire of 800 professional development courses. Well, we have that here. That Kania Pro platform has more than 800 professional development courses, just regular courses. So anyone that decides to use it for business the way it is will have access to that content. And for an individual instructor that has for an individual company that has 5 employees or 6 employees or something like that, then it's completely affordable, because to be able to do a small subscription to something like that is completely different than thinking to yourself, well, I have to come up with a learning management system for my company. There's no tiny business that's going to do that by themselves.
Yeah.
And so by doing it this way, I can support, small businesses, tinier businesses everywhere. And people can have access to the same quality of ongoing professional development. Because anybody in business will tell you it's really important for you to keep your people happy. And anybody who's not just kind of struggling or depressed in life, they actually want to learn things. They want to learn, they want to grow, they want to see themselves, achieving more. And it's the way you do that is to make sure you're providing education for your employees.
Well said. Well, with that being said, we thank you so much for your time here and for all of the resources that you let us know. Again, guys, if you want to check it out, please visit the Kania Pro platform. We do have it in the comments, and it was outlined in the live stream, so you guys can go back and watch. And Miss Ruth, we do thank you so much for being here.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm assuming that you're just going to shift focus away from me. Do I have to leave the studio, or?
I believe you would have to leave the studio.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so that was really interesting. As I and a lot of Pan-Africanists believe, it's not only the social aspect, we also have to think about the economic aspect. So I do appreciate what she said and what she talked about. We really do need to make sure that we connect on this level. The next speaker that we do have is Mr. David. So I believe in a couple of minutes, he will come on the screen and he will share a little bit about what he's doing. His story is also very interesting. But before we get into that, I just wanted to share that when it comes to starting a business, when we mean businesses, we don't mean big businesses. Even if you don't have a lot of money, you can do something that can generate a stream of income long enough for you to save money in order to start another business. One of these days, probably next week, I'll share a little bit more about that. So David is not available right now. Maybe we will talk to him later, but Shalima is here. So let's hear from Shalima. I believe she will talk about group economics. So we can't wait to hear from her. So in a couple of minutes, when she does come on the screen, we will definitely get to know what she's doing and ask her more questions about this group economics as well. So yeah, we just want you guys to understand that when it comes to business, it could be something as small as a chicken farm. It doesn't have to be something that's huge. You know, I know, especially if you're young, maybe you just finished college or you just finished high school, you're thinking about, okay, how can I be a billionaire? How can I buy my house? How can I do this? How can I do that? But all of this stuff takes time, expertise, knowledge, growth. It all takes time. It takes years and years and years, but you will get to a point where you perfect it. If you were here earlier, we were talking to Splash of Africa, the owner of Splash of Africa, and she said that she started her business in 2016. Now in 2020 is when she's talking about it, right? So it's not always something that as soon as you do it, you'll make money. She was saying that the first 2 or 3 years, there really wasn't a lot of income. So we just want you guys to keep that in mind when it comes to starting a business. So without further ado, we are waiting for Shamila. I'm just waiting for the screen to come on. So if anybody's in the background, you can please add Shamila. We are definitely waiting for her to come on. But yes, thank you guys so much for being here. Please be sure to check out the websites, africanbusinessmonth.org, where you can have all of the updates of the new upcoming events. Again, next week, I believe, is the season's finale for this. So next week is the season finale. Hope to see all of you guys there. I will be there and I will be sharing also a little bit about what I do. Okay, so we can't wait for you guys to be there. Ishmael, can you please unmute your mic?
Yes.
Hi, brother. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh yes, can you please introduce yourself and then you can get right into it. It's your show now. You can say whatever you want. I believe he's having network issues, but I know that he will come back on. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is one of the youth that is from the Gambia. So I can't wait to talk to him because, as you guys know, Gambia is really a hot spot. If you're thinking about investing into Africa, I definitely think, going to some of the countries where there's less competition is definitely a really good idea. And that is just a pointer. I have nothing against going to South Africa or going to Nigeria, but some of those economies are very, very busy. So if you want to look into a place where you can start, where it's much smaller, possibly less competition, somewhere like Gambia, I believe Liberia, Sierra Leone is also a really good place to get started. Land there is also very cheap. So if you are thinking about doing anything with land, it's always a good idea to check those places out as well. And also, let me say something else about land before the other guest speaker comes on. The good thing about land is you can just buy land, right? You buy land in 2020, and then in 2022, you sell it at a higher price. Hi.
Uh, yes, I'm back again. I'm having some internet connection within my area.
No problem.
You got a big mouth.
Yep, I hear you.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Yes, I am. First of all, let me introduce myself. I came late, and I hope now we are almost at the verge of finishing the conference. Basically, I am Ismail Fati, a student at the University of the Gambia, a Pan-Africanist, and also a youth leader. Basically, I am so happy to be here and to give my little knowledge on the African Business Month. That is how to promote African business here. So basically, I believe we have gone so long, or we came from a very far distance as Africans, from slavery coming down to colonialism, how we were treated by European people who didn't see us as humans. I could remember so well in the early 15th century when the European nations came to Africa, even before they enslaved us. The mentality and the philosophy they have was to make Africans to think and behave like them. And this was one of the aims of a colonialist or a colonial powers of what we call as the French policy of assimilation. So in this regard, they want to control everything about Africa. They want to Europeanize everything. Even our trading system was Europeanized at the end of the day. So one will understand that if we want to judge African history, we want to look at our business as Africans, we have to go way back before the coming of the Europeans. Now, okay, before the coming of the Europeans in the coast of Africa. How are we living as Africans? How do we carry out our business as Africans before the coming of the Europeans? And we know very well we have been exploited for far too long. And when a white man arrived in the coast of Africa, they realized that African people, they have a system of governance, they are well structured, and they have a system of business that was going down, and also, African people were well civilized, and what do they do?
Okay, I believe it's breaking in and out. I was so excited to hear what he was going to say. Okay, I believe that we lost the connection, but I know that we will try again. So if we can take him out and then bring him back in, I think that would be good because he was just getting into the conversation. But I agree with what he said for the little that we were listening to. Very interesting. I'm always really happy to see the youth talk about this because our parents, some of us.
I'm back. I'm connected.
Hi. Thank you for being here.
Greetings and my apologies. Technical difficulties in my area, but I'm very grateful that I'm now in. And Deborah and the GPAN staff team, thank you for having this program to allow for individuals like myself to share what we have in terms of business and how it can also benefit us as African people. So should I just dive in? I'm sorry.
Brief introduction, and then yes, you could dive in. But it is your show. Whichever style you're most comfortable with is fine.
Okay. Well, I am Shalima Edwards, and I do have a business, a degree in business management and business administration. I live in the Virgin Islands, particularly on the island of St. Croix, and I have been a business owner for in the food industry area, and utilizing my knowledge now in nonprofit organizations. So as a business, with that business background, as I said, actually, I just came out from the store in which I manage on Saturdays for a nonprofit organization named the Ethiopian World Federation Local Number 5. And this is part of the organization's way of fundraising. So it is a membership-based organization, and this allows the members to not only individually sell their items, but they can do it through the organization. So that's why I focus on my focus topic is group economics. Realizing that there is a need to have such a connection, I decided to volunteer my time in that area. So also I'm in other groups and other organizations likewise, and see the importance when we pool our resources as not just as individuals, but collectively as individuals, collectively coming together in unity, that we can achieve many things. And doing it on that ground, so to speak, as a business form, many things can be achieved. Networking is one of the other areas that I do with brothers and sisters on the continent, and also the organization also network with individuals who live elsewhere, the continent, in Ethiopia, as was mentioned earlier, but also Ghana, Senegal. So we are networking, and how we can definitely benefit is by doing that, networking. Group economics, let's just think about anything that one person may not be able to achieve or obtain because they don't have enough finance behind them. If they do it along with others, now that can be family, that can be colleagues or members in an organization, that you will then be able to receive or share in that you were achieving to obtain. Example, let's say property, building, land. So again, sharing in that way, you can get a piece of the pie, so to speak, or piece of the land, so to speak, piece of the vehicles that can help in transportation wise. Looking in our history, definitely let's remember Marcus Mosiah Garvey and what he achieved, and how, again, as when Black people, especially African people, come together, they can do so much things. And my emphasis is that, again, group economics, because it has worked in the past and it is working now. And if you as an individual wants to begin a business, think further than just yourself. Think about how you can be a part of a group, part of a team, part of a family to achieve that goal in owning something or sharing the wealth, so to speak. So that is what I wanted to express. And if anyone is interested, as I am based on the island of St. Croix, in this effort to network, they can contact me. My email address is shalima@12@gmail.com. That's SHALIMAAT1@gmail.com. Or you can go on my Facebook page, because there are various activities that will help in getting you on track as far as doing it as a collective. So my Facebook page is Shalima Edwards. And I'll just say that one of the upcoming things we have in which people can join in is the VI Wealth Builders. So it's helping individuals and groups who are not aware of what they can actually do collectively. You will be able to learn how to do so. And another activity coming up is Kwanzaa initiatives, and that will be shared more in details tomorrow, actually. So please, you can get a hold of me that way and be a part of networking so that we can build together as a group.
I actually really like what you just said, because I will admit, normally when you think of group economics, you do forget the group part. You just think of the economics. So I like the part where you said it's not just an individual, it's think of how you can be part of a team and a part of a group. I really liked that aspect of it. I'm really going to think about that. And I also do like how you talked about networking. I don't think people realize how important it is. And it's not just networking in your city or your town. We're talking countries here. It's really important, especially if you're thinking about business, because it can really help with certain costs of certain things. If you're importing something from a different country, it could be cheaper, and then you sell it over here for a different price. So I definitely think that, and not just that as well, but networking in general with people in different countries is very important. In case things don't work out and you need somewhere else to go, then you also do have a group of people who over there.
Yes, definitely. And that's the key. We have been doing it in the past, and we tend, as people who may not remember our past or being taught about our past, but group economics was a part of the thing. You trade, so that your family could benefit, and you do it together, whether it be in a village setting. At least that has been happening. You're not just as an individual living in the village alone, but you are part of the village. You are part of the group. You are part of the family, and therefore you can share in the building of everyone.
Okay, one last question before
Sure.
You leave us. What do you think that in 2020, specifically 2020, what do you think that we're missing or that we can improve a little bit better?
As a people, or?
Yeah.
Okay. As a people, well, I would say we have to see each other as family. How you would want your family to be, you should think about that. And not saying that money isn't a way to get things, but don't just let that be the thing in front of you. Let love be a part of it, because when you do things with love, then it grows better. It's like nurturing a plant. If you take care of it, it's going to grow and be strong. So let's take care of ourselves, like as a people. Let's show love to each other. You know, you're my brother, you're my sister. Care for each other. Don't be in such of a mindset that will cause you to want to just destroy another person, you know, another being. So that is what I would say for in 2020. We really should focus on changing the mindset of the Western way, I would say, the capitalistic way of just wanting, and not caring to see each other grow. So change the mindset. That's what I would say. That is now definitely a need to finish off 2020.
But
set that mindset.
How would you propose, however, that we change that Western capitalistic mindset?
Well, one of the things, do things that will allow you to be with others and see the other person or people grow. So it's like volunteer your time. You know, you don't have to put a money, a dollar behind it, but just do something out of kindness. And then you will see things are going to change gradually in that, wow, I like helping others, you know. Don't just, again, I'm saying this because I've experienced it, in which there was a time that I was at the bottom, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I had to look within myself to find a way to get out of that, you know. So I've done a lot of volunteer work. I've done a lot of things where not only me can benefit from it, but others could benefit from it. Like just doing, we call it treasure hunt of a yard sale. So it's like you're cleaning your house, instead of just throwing it away, that might be something someone else could benefit from, you know, having. So just doing these things, these small things. Don't put a dollar in front of it all the time. Do volunteer work. That helps.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, you just gotta give, you know, be what's the word? Remove the selfishness and be self-giving, you know. That's part of it.
Definitely. I see. Because I will say this, you know, the way that generally we're raised, especially due to our circumstances and due to a lot of our various histories, we're raised to be the best at everything. You know, like you have to be better than everybody else. And especially if you work in the West or even in certain areas back home, if you work, let's say, in a corporate setting, like you got to be the top. You know what I mean? Like, but I understand what you're saying. We have to get back to our roots and really understand that if one person wins, that doesn't mean that everybody wins. Like we all have to win. So thank you so much. I appreciate your input.
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Japan, for having this again.
Thank you so much. And if you would like to stay, you could, but if you would or have to leave, that's fine as well. We do appreciate your time, though.
Yes, I do have to leave. I'm going to go back to the store that I'm managing. So again, thank you for the time.
Thank you so much. Hello, Ruth.
I didn't realize I was going to be in studio. Okay.
Were you?
I thought I was going to be in the waiting room for the
were
discussion.
You in the background the whole time?
No. Daniel just told me I could get back in for the discussion.
Okay. I believe someone else will be added to the discussion, but we were just talking about, you know, group economics.
I heard that. I was following on Facebook.
what was your opinion on basically what we said?
I thought Sister Shalimar was dead on. That the thing I've the one of the huge breakthroughs for us as a people is understanding how to come together to execute. You know, we are really great at discussing things. We discuss a lot of things together, but you know, making something happen means doing it. We I think, and it's not just us. It's just hard for people. You know, people are able to talk freely, but actually executing is another matter, right? Um, the generosity of spirit that Sister Shalimar talked on is absolutely critical. You know, you can't need to watch every um, uh, dollar, quarter, nickel, dime. You have to have a generous spirit to where you are willing to give of yourself a bit and just share. And we know that there are people who don't have great motives, but the unfortunate thing that has happened with us is we lead with that. We go into situations more or less, you know, like thinking maybe more than 70% of what could be wrong, and what, you know, and kind of being more suspicious than open. And I think that has damaged us a bit in our ability to work with each other, um, because the inclination, we are more, we lean more on the um, unexpecting, not good outcome side, instead of more on the I'm expecting something good. Now, if you show me something that's not good, I'm going to notice that. But it's hard for us to kind of really break into the mold because many people have had so many negative experiences. So people are very hesitant to come together with other people. Coming together requires a certain amount of tolerance. Coming together requires some skills in communication. You know, everyone is not the same. So, you know, we have to be able to kind of give and take, you know, a little bit and realize that somebody could be saying something differently, but that doesn't mean that they're coming from a bad place. You know, learning to really um, actively listen and uh, not rush too much to judgment, you know, how learning we really need certainly, as you can see, many online forums, you know, a lot of us need a lot of communication skills. And I don't know if it's because online forums are sort of, you know, a little bit anonymous to a certain degree, but you know, people just saying all sorts of things. Uh, so the ability to communicate and the ability to agree on a goal and go for it together, figure out, okay, it's a team, right? Everybody in the team doesn't have to have the same skill. You look for the differentiators and you look for where this person is strong, this person is strong, this person is strong. You know, there's a certain person who you're absolutely not going to give a certain task to. But then there's another task that's incredibly suited for that person and maybe not for anyone else. So instead of going into groups and trying to feel like everybody should be just like you, maybe when we go into groups, we should learn to identify the strengths of each person and try and see how our collective work can be divided amongst the group members with certain strengths. So we don't have this big pressure on each other that I see that you're not like me, so something must be wrong with you, which is in our immature society, that's a lot of what happens. It's like, wait, you know, that's not what I would say, or I wouldn't say it like that, or you know, just being able to learn to work with each other so we have a chance to form those groups. I think that's a battle for us right now as a people.
Absolutely. Before I give my opinion as well on that, Stefan, would you
Yes,
like
hi. How are you all?
Good.
Good.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. Great. Please excuse just the connecting challenges. Just been so busy and internet and stuff like that. So based upon where we are, I'm going to do the screen share, and give me 1 second to figure out how to pull up this presentation. Hopefully I can. Oh man, sorry to be at this point and not
Don't
really
worry
know.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm just gonna focus on getting it done.
I mean, other people might say something, but me, I'm more laissez-faire. I'm like, take your time.
Bless up, bless up. Thank you. All right, so I'm in the process of sharing my screen. Here. My computer is loading, so. So while we're waiting, I can just briefly introduce myself. My name is Stephen White. I'm founder and CEO of All in One. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm founder and CEO of All in One, or co-founder, as we have other team members. And so All in One is a financial institution. Right now, we're determining whether we're going to become a bank or a credit union. And currently, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. There are immense financial challenges that people of color have, and so it's led to what, in essence, All in One is becoming. So again, the financial institution, either bank or credit union, and what we're going to do is we're going to provide a business accelerator multiple times throughout the years. We want basically the business accelerator to be ongoing throughout the year, and so during the business accelerator, we're going to provide entrepreneurs with educational technology, and with that educational technology, we're going to open up our crypto, because in 2018 our company created a cryptocurrency that was validated by the world's second leading cryptocurrency, which is called Ethereum. So you have Bitcoin, which most people are familiar with, and then there's Ethereum. So in 2018 Ethereum hosted a hackathon, which is an event where people create technology, figure out how to use currently existing technologies. And so as a result, they had like maybe 4 or 5 different categories. Education was one. And at the time, we were just really focused on educational technology and not so much the financial part, but we won the education award. So coming soon, we're like, as we speak, we're actively having meetings with our legal team and a strategic leader, in a sense, who's going to help us connect with venture capital. So I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, and which is obviously the United States. And so one of the things that I know is necessary for African Americans, for Africans here in the United States, is that we need to have more access to capital. Like right now, most of these financial institutions are not owned by people of color. Like almost 99% of them aren't. And so I actually am familiar with those who kind of aren't, but based upon the structure that they currently have, they really don't have the opportunity to really service us as a startup business that's literally going to become a financial institution that provides our own cryptocurrency. Most financial institutions do not even allow or support their financial advisors to invest in the cryptocurrencies. And so here we are, a financial institution that's going to provide a business accelerator, the educational technology to go with it, and the cryptocurrency. So I'm still waiting on my computer to load up. Oh my gosh. At all times for me to be waiting. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So I don't know if you all have any thoughts on just while I'm waiting on my computer to load up. Maybe we can just use this time for open discussion. Um, have you all thought about connecting with entrepreneurs in the United States? What are your thoughts on African Americans and Africans in the United States? And how can we do a better job of bridging the gap between the resources that are abundant in Africa and the resources that are almost apparently non-existent in the United States?
I wish there were more people up here for this open discussion, but for my opinion on this, I feel like there's just not enough of us that are trying. You know what I mean? Like, we can sit here and say 24/7 that we need to connect and that we need to do this together. But I don't think that enough of us actually are doing that, period, for us to even connect. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like everybody else, even though they complain about the status quo, they're content with it. You know what I mean? But
Most
especially
people tend to complain more.
yeah. They complain more, but when it comes to actions, the actions are not there. In terms of capital, I've kind of stopped depending on other people for that because I kind of feel like why would they help you to get to the level where they're at? Well, it's definitely intentional, because I had a friend that wanted to start a certain business in the U.S. and they were asking her a whole bunch of questions. Like, her credit was okay, but they were just asking her a whole bunch of questions of her parents. All these background checks that I'm very suspicious of, to be quite honest.
Right.
It's so annoying.
Right, exactly. So that's where we are, is that we're pretty much negating the credit issue because by us, okay, so right now, I have the goal of raising $20 million, right? And I've kind of set that number actually at 21, right? I want to raise 21, so we have an additional amount for the cost of pretty much establishing a bank or a credit union. So to your point about people doing more complaining, I think what it is that it's fair for them to do that because they care enough to say something. In the same breath, what I realized, I graduated from an HBCU called Rust, RUST. It's 30 minutes outside of Memphis, Tennessee, but it's actually located in Holly Springs, Mississippi. And we had a large African population. My roommate was Gambian. I mean, I've done things from beginning to learn Wolof to, I mean, just, and so basically where I'm going with it is the educational institution, meaning the college, is pretty much that entry point for African Americans and Africans to begin to interact and get over some of the stereotypical ideologies that cultures who do not look like us present, right? And try to reinforce and establish. So we're getting past those. What I realized is for those who complain, it's people such as myself that have a solution, an economic solution in terms of an actual business, an entity that can generate income and have a mission great enough to be able to generate capital to even hire other people. So where I am in regards to your point is I want to share my website with you. Like literally my screen is frozen. Like I'm just looking at the mouse just circle. So if you all have internet, well, I'm obviously you have internet access, but if you would please check out our website and I can discuss that with you to give you a better understanding of exactly what I'm trying to do. So our website is called weareallinone.com. So WEARE and then ALLINWON.com. So we are allinone.com, and all in one is spelled the way that our business is spelled. And so I have a section on our website called influencers. And what I've done is I've begun to identify resources that are financially based in the United States and resources that are financially based in Africa.
Do you mind typing in your website in the private chat?
What was your question?
Do you mind typing in your website in the private chat?
I would, but my computer is literally totally like it's loaded. See, I'm trying to share my screen because what I wanted to do was go through our presentation, and then transition into the website. But it's stuck on loading the presentation. So
I can type it. What's your website again?
okay, it's WE
Yeah.
ARE. So we are.
Yeah.
And then all in one, which is ALL.
Yeah.
IN.
Yeah.
WON.com. Did you have success?
We are all in WON.com.
Yes. Is okay. Is
no.
Okay, is we are instead of one as in maybe I made this too complicated. All right, it's we. Is there any way that you all can see the name of our business is all in one? Do you see the spelling for it anywhere on the screen? I just can't do anything. Let me just try to read.
Would you like me to bring it up for you, brother? Would you like me to bring it up for you?
If you see all in one anywhere, it's spelled ALLINWON.
Yeah, I think Miss Ruth got it for some
reason.
Okay,
perfect.
Would you like me to display it for you?
You'll know it like no other company is we are or is all in one. So it's ALLINWON. And that name came as a result of us realizing that you have to be fully committed in order to win. So it was like we're all in. And then we realized a long time ago when we first started that we had won because we literally took the steps necessary to do something about what we technically have been complaining about, what we have been living through, and what we have, just been experiencing all together. Let me see if I can. 1 second. Let me see if I can close this out.
Oh, is it one?
Can you hear me, Deborah?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
If Brother Stefan would like, I can display it for him. If his computer is not.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone have success in finding the website?
Yes, Miss Ruth had success in finding it.
Okay, awesome. So I don't know if you are able to. Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to Control Alt Delete my screen right now so that I can get back to a place where I can. 1 second, I'm closing out. It wouldn't even let me close it out. Let me see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out my internet browser. I think I have too many tabs loaded up, so I'm going to close it out and then I'm going to log right back in. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to close it out and restart.
Okay, sure. In the meantime, I suppose we should continue what we were talking about before. Yes, why is it so hard for people like us, I guess, to get capital? And why is it easier for us to complain instead of actually to mobilize?
I don't know. Is Brother Stefan still with us?
too sure either.
Okay, because I think he closed his browser, so he would have lost us also. Yeah. Well, with the matter of capital, the way I did it for my business is like you, Sister Deborah. I just worked myself and saved. I saved from my earnings myself and invested in my business. For me, what I ended up doing was moving forward in an arena that I had a whole career in. So I didn't switch. Starting up my business was a continuation of my career as an independent. So I didn't need a lot of startup money, and I already had the social capital because I was involved with the organizations and with the people in my industry already. So I was known. And so I leveraged my social capital to continue on, and doing consulting work other than so your office, your office space and back office types of activities. um, I I kind of had a little edge being in tech myself, so I had access to software and to resources and people for the back office stuff. So I didn't have huge startup costs because I'm selling services. I am not selling products that need to be stored in a warehouse. I did not go into a field that was unknown to me. I continued on with work and connections that I already had, and that's how I dealt with capital.
Likewise, I think products, nothing against them, but they can be a bit difficult, especially if it's food.
I mean, there was one time in my life, a long time ago, when I was a salesperson for like a independent salesperson, and I was taught in that business that what you do is when you get your little money so you can invest your initial capital to get started, and then when you get your first set of products and you've gotten them all sold, you need to keep 60% of the money and you need to reinvest 40% of the money. And no matter how big you get, always do that. So you always have money to keep your business going. You never you never take the full earnings of your business and
Yes,
utilize
this is the
them.
right way. I'm sorry. I'm so used.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm so used to the mic automatically being controlled. I participate in so many Zoom meetings, so excuse me for interrupting. But this is the correct website, so
okay.
I'm back in. Sorry about all the interruptions. Okay, so it won't let me screen share, but thank you for doing this because this just solves the challenge. So if you go to the fourth tab over, skip the about and the next one, and then click influencers.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So come on, dude. So okay. Like literally, I just had a okay. Well, it's not important. So if you scroll down, you can see the categories that I'm seeking to bridge the gap with. Right. So one of the main issues in the, let's just say, African American community is just access to education. Right. A lot of parents don't, work, and there are just so many challenges. And so as a result, there are a number of African Americans who just don't graduate. And then once they don't graduate, it's down, most times it seems to be downhill. So if we scroll down where we get to African venture capital, scroll on down. Yeah. See, these are resources just where I currently am, but what I need is I want digital support, meaning website development, so that we can map this out for each city in each country in Africa and each city in each state in the United States. So this is categorized based upon the way and time that I had, but it can be, for example, this African venture capital, right? List of all banks. So it can have each country and then have those financial institutions. Same thing in the States.
Okay.
See,
Kind of following what you're saying.
okay, awesome. So the main issue that Africans, whether African Americans or just Africans in general, the idea is we don't own the financial institutions for the most part. Like they're maybe in Africa it may be more abundant, but if we look at Bank of America, First Horizon, all the various banks in the United States, most of them have predominantly Caucasian ownership. Like almost none of them have any true diversity amongst their leadership, let alone their ownership. So the idea is we have to begin to create these financial institutions and or get people of color hired into these positions so that we can begin to say, hey, okay, well, we understand that instead of, all these questions about your parents and all these challenges to just getting capital to run a business, we can bypass that by us offering our own cryptocurrency. We don't need the banks to provide us with business loans. We just have to support ourselves. So I know it sounds kind of weird, but I'm just gonna exit out the full screen. So when it comes to policy, which is if you scroll down on the website, whoever was, yeah, thank you, such an awesome help. So policy, right? So I don't know how it works in Africa. I don't know, how congressional leaders approve policy or pass laws, right? So these are subjects that are not in the classroom. We don't learn about money in the classroom, at least here in the United States, we don't. And we don't learn about policy. The two most important things to successful, happy living. We don't know how to pass laws. For the most part, we're beginning to do that. Like right now, I'm helping with various campaigns. So in Knoxville, I was helping an organization called the City Council Movement. And it's basically a number of people of color who are running for city council. And city council basically is the council that is directly in line with the mayor. So I want to share this link with you. And if you could pull this up, because this will actually give us the true understanding about what we do as a business, right? That kind of okay, I just posted this link and it should automatically pull up.
Okay, I see it. Is it the Global Communities Pitch Deck?
Yes. That's it. I've been waiting for this moment I'm 31. I've been waiting for it since 1989. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, where there's practically no, the communities of color do not exist. Like we have a part of Knoxville that's
really?
predominantly. What'd you say?
No, I'm just shocked. I didn't know that was like that in Tennessee.
Exactly, that's the thing, which is nobody knows. Most people don't know the struggle that are on the continent. So thank you. All right, we can move to the next slide if we. Thank you. So our mission is to help each individual achieve greater and more relevant intelligence, because intellect is what oftentimes we're working with to make our decisions, and experience so that each can be most fulfilled. Not only do we need the knowledge, but we need the opportunities, and not just opportunities, but we need the resources that allow us to participate in these opportunities. So if we could move on to the next slide. So our vision, we can just briefly run through this, but our goal is to help pretty much every community, each individual accumulate resources and not have to worry about the lack of resources, right? How can we have an abundance to the point we're not even thinking about the lack of? So we'll just skip the vision right now because I want to show you all actually what our technological solution is. Our solution, perfect. So all-in-one is a financial institution. Right now we're determining whether we're going to become a bank or a credit union. And that's based upon our ability to provide a cryptocurrency, because we created it, but we're not quite a registered bank or credit union in Tennessee. So what is it that we provide as a financial institution? I don't know if you all are familiar with business accelerators. Well, it's all right. If you're not perfect, this is exactly what and I need to add that on here. Well, it is actually on here. I'm sorry, but I'm going to start with number one. It says personalized curriculum via educational technology. Is actually what I actually need to do is swap number two with number one and vice versa, so that it reads business development consulting via our accelerator. So a business accelerator is a structured program that, for example, may be education focused. It's we're primarily in education, right? So if we offered an accelerator, we might say, hey, we want to pay 10 companies to provide educational solutions over the course of 3 months, right? So they may say, okay, with consulting and all the above, they may be contributing to what we can do, or they may be doing something else that we can collaborate with them on. So business accelerators exist, but we don't have them in Knoxville. I mean, there's one, and this is one of the most, how do I even explain it? Like, Tennessee is one of those places where it's becoming more progressive, but it traditionally hasn't been for people of color. So if you haven't had, for African Americans, we haven't had the relationship with people back on the continent to be able to say, oh, I can connect with my family, or, a larger network of where we come from to help us do business here in the United States. We've literally been in the United States with little ability to create jobs because we haven't had the capital to tap into. And we have sometimes the intentional aggression of non-people of color to prevent that, because of what we do as we achieve financial independence. So we really and I say we, but I'm going to start with all-in-one. We need contributions from the continent. So here we have the cryptocurrency, right? What is cryptocurrency? I don't know if you all are familiar with blockchain. Better yet, I'm going to skip this. Let's go to the next slide. I'm going to make it simpler. I'm realizing if I had to learn it, it would be tough. So this is our solution, right? And it's even more advanced than what it is now. So the idea is, how can I learn about entrepreneurship if it's not taught in the classroom? Some parents don't have the ability to teach it. Some people just don't know. So we're teaching entrepreneurship, right? So if you want to just move on through these slides, it's just basically the visual of everything. So this is one career, but what we want to do is expand this career into every career.
Got it.
So that as we matriculate through, let's just say 1st through 12th grade, we're already aware of what we want to do. So when we actually graduate, we're just transitioning directly into it. So as people progress, right, no one can just technically perfect. We can start right here. these are the things that we pretty much need financially, right? We have an accelerator, we have our legal fees, we have our team, and we have equipment. So how much does it cost to run an accelerator? Kind of tough to say if we don't have it all the way mapped out. So that's kind of questionable. But we have legal fees because we have legal fees. We're transitioning from an LLC into either an LLC or into like an S or C corp, so that we can officially establish ourselves as a bank or a financial institution in Knoxville, Tennessee. So right now we're determining it because we have the goal of providing a cryptocurrency with our actual. So for example, during the game, when people achieve, it's not just playing a video game, but curriculum that's taught in the classroom can also be learned. Like we have the ability to teach philosophy, or not philosophy, psychology, but it's not the subject that most school systems are saying, hey, we need this. They're more so focusing on like math, science, the basics, right? But not entrepreneurship or personal finance or business development or any of those subjects, or policy, right? Government. None of these subjects, the ones that really influence us the most, are taught. So how can we teach them? So now we have our legal fees, right? Quite simple. We have a legal team. Kind of tough to pay them $1,000 a month when you have rent, you got so many different expenses, and it's tough because here in Knoxville, see what it would take for other people to understand is we need Africans to visit Knoxville, because once that happens, but understand, hey, look what not only do we have to go through in order to really succeed, we will also understand the opportunities of an entirely different environment. Perfect. So feel free to scroll through. These are challenges in the global education system. The challenges in you might can use your arrow on the keyboard so that you don't have to bring up that screen.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Why? See, in May 2018, we're recognized as one of the top 6 startup businesses amongst all colleges and universities in Tennessee. That's awesome. They can provide us with the recognition because we're exceptionally talented. I wish. What was that came across the bottom? Oh, awesome.
Wish we do as y'all. Okay, let me get that. I wish we do as y'all say, guys. Africa for Africans, guys.
How did you find it? I don't see that on my screen.
You see where it says private chat? Go to where it says comments.
Got you.
So I think that was more of a compliment, not really a question. But thank you.
Yeah, I like the comment. Okay. So back to the presentation. Really, our main need is website development, because we can do the research, but it's a matter of transitioning the research into the actual website. That takes time, connecting links and all that type of stuff. So we just got accepted into this business program, and I gotta look up the name of it. It's actually a business accelerator, but we need to be participating in these types of opportunities.
Absolutely.
I got it. Just 1 second. Yeah, here in Knoxville, we need more people of color to own things. It's, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, what is that? I don't know.
Okay, so we don't have much time left.
Okay.
For the program. Did you have any closing remarks or closing statements?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you did mention them before. You did highlight it before, so everyone who missed that out, you could rewind the stream and actually listen to what Stefan said earlier. But yes, what would you say are your closing remarks or closing statements, and I guess the struggles and challenges and things like that?
Got you. I'll use this moment to kind of service the 1 to 2 minute video that was requested, right? So number one, just to kind of run over everything. Stephen White, founder and CEO of All in One. I want to give a special shout out to all my co-founders, starting with Kadarius McGlown. And so All in One is a financial institution that's becoming either a bank or a credit union. And we are providing a business accelerator called the All-in-One-a-thon. And during the All-in-One-a-thon, we are providing businesses with consulting and the resources that they need in order to actually get past the challenges to achieve greater income, greater revenue. And so we are, during that accelerator, providing educational technology. We actually have a solution called Auto Tutor, and we also are providing a cryptocurrency so that as people achieve using our digital platform, they will actually be acquiring currency. And so our goal is to improve the rate of learning, the opportunities for experience based upon what one has learned, so that people can, in essence, have more fulfilled, sustained lives, and we can reduce poverty, because there are too many African Americans that literally don't have, because there aren't enough people in congressional seats. So, for example, representatives, senators, mayors, every position that falls within government, Africans need to fill. African Americans / Africans, the same as I look at it, right? Just some were born abroad, but here in America, it's pretty obvious. So our website is weareallinone.com, and that's spelled weareallinwon. So that's weareallinone.com. And if you would please, at some point we're going to be providing our cryptocurrency. So if you would like to purchase it now, that helps fund us so that we can pay for our legal fees, so that we can become a structured organization in Knoxville, so that we can, in essence, become that bank or credit union. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you so much. I believe Mr. Daniel does have a message for you.
Okay.
So check that out in the private chats. We really did enjoy that presentation, and I actually did learn a lot. I need to go back and watch that for real.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, there are about 60 or 70 slides on there, and it's taking time to put that content together. That's why having the ability to connect with others who want to help is important, so that we can continue to develop our pitch deck. But it's really our website, because our pitch deck is on our website. So the same one that I put in the chat, that's on our website. So we need to bridge the gap between African venture capital and the finances and American capital and finances. So yeah, I just want to make sure, Daniel, you are. I don't have
How are you?
WhatsApp, but I will create one.
Can you hear me, Brother Stefan?
Yeah, sure. I have all the time in the world. This is all I want to do every day. Period.
It's nice to have you on African Business Month. It's really amazing, and we really need to make sure that Black-owned businesses are able to access capital, because that's a very important area. And the only way that we can build Africa is by mobilizing the capital that is in Africa, and also the capital that is in the US and in the diaspora, so that we can set the structures that Africa needs as a nation.
Right.
Thank you very much for joining our program, and I'd also like to thank the host for hosting the program, and also the speakers, the exhibitors. The final event for the African Business Month is going to be on 29th of November. So this will also be an opportunity for businesses to be able to exhibit and to showcase what they have to offer to the world. Deborah, do you have any comment?
I have one quick comment. How can we do this every month instead of just being once a year? And I want to applaud everybody who was instrumental in making sure that this event was hosted. It's the greatest thing of all time for me as an African American in business, because we don't have any other outlets to connect with Africa. So this is that liaison. So if we can do this every month, so that more and more people can become solid in knowing that this is an everyday thing, right? It's great for it to be for a month, but even I've had some challenges to be able to participate, and I'm not even participating as great as I want to, but it's okay though, because I've had help from Deborah and the other woman who was a part of the meeting. So how can we do this more consistently? I mean, I worked day and night to make sure that this was done in January and beginning again in 2021. So that's just a comment. I know it's kind of lengthy.
Okay, we are going to be holding more business events, and the African Business Month will be held every year. But throughout the year, we usually hold so many other events where we provide a platform for African businesses to be able to showcase, and also to provide a platform for Africans.
Did you go out? I mean, I don't know if you stopped talking, but I don't hear any audio for you. Okay, I don't hear any audio for anybody. Daniel, I said Daniel. Deborah, you're muted.
Oh, okay, my bad. I believe he was saying that even though this happens every year, they're gonna try to do more platform for businesses more often. And I guess that's the reason why he wants to have everybody's like either email contact or a way to stay in touch, so that if we do have these type of events, it'll be easier to access.
That's perfect. I want to help plan. I mean, we need this every day.
Yeah, because me personally, next week you guys will hear my business, but me personally, I know a lot of contacts as well, but we don't really talk, we don't really,
Yeah, sure, I get it.
We don't really get together. Like, I never knew there were so many business owners in the States, and I had no idea.
Right. So if we're that way, imagine how many more people would probably say the same thing. So maybe it could be a fundraising strategy to host this every week. I mean, if you have I say every month, right? If you have the infrastructure, maybe just a matter of reposting it on Eventbrite. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just thankful to finally connect with an organization that has as much African representation as it does. Because if it wasn't for me going to an HBCU, which is a historically Black college or university, I wouldn't have met any people that really look like me or relate to me or, come from a different country. Like, again, my roommate was from Banjul, Gambia. Like, the things I learned, but not just going to class, but I play soccer with Senegalese, Kenyans. The list continues. So that's why I'm like, how can we? I just want to be instrumental in being able to host this more consistently because we need help financially. Like, again, my goal is to raise 20 million. Like, we have to do that in order to technically have the assets under management to establish ourselves as a bank in Knoxville. I don't know if the in you all's homeland that are owned by the natives, but it would be interesting to connect. If anyone could connect me with those that maybe are bank executives, that's what we need. We need that type of strategic leadership to help us establish ourselves here in the United States. We have the legal team, but the legal team not going to necessarily go out of their way to help us raise. So we have to do that through opportunities like this. So if there is a way to connect with the number, 50 plus countries in Africa, there got to be Black-owned or African-owned financial institutions. There's no way that can exist at this stage in 2020. I mean, over here in the United States, we have the pressure, meaning people of color have the pressure of having to live within a society that's dominated by those who don't look like us. But in Africa, it should be totally different. There should be financial institutions that are African-owned. And we need to connect with them so that we can establish all in one as the financial institution in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, you should definitely reach out to some Nigerians because I believe that there are Nigerian institutions. So, yeah, we can talk about that offline.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think we'll connect you with our team, Japan US chapter, so that you can also get involved, and also our team in Africa, so that we can work together to improve our people, whether they're in Africa or in the diaspora. So we've come to the end of the program, and the next African Business Month event is going to be on 29th of November. This will be the last event that we're going to hold this year, but next year we're going to have more events, and hopefully we'll be able to have physical events as the pandemic subsides, because I'm very optimistic that by the end of the year we'll not be handling coronavirus anymore in Africa. So we look forward to having more physical events that will encourage even community engagement. Thank you very much, our host Deborah, and also Bidemi for hosting this program. All our guests, Stefan White and many other guests that have exhibited. Have a great day and good night wherever you are.
Thank you all. And just before we go, Deborah, would you mind to post your email address, if you don't mind, into the comment section, just so that I don't know if you're going to follow it with me at any particular time, but I just